It's good.
All right.
Live now.
All right. Shalom, Israel. Welcome back to Wednesday night class. Shout out to everybody that's online, checking us out online, and also the water for everybody also that came in person, that is actually here in the present. First and foremost, salute and shout out to our brothers in Norfolk, Virginia, Rochester, New York, Houston, Texas. Our fellow brother schools out there, Shield of Wisdom, and mighty shout out to Cabo Cobb down in Guatemala. And I'm Yatazai in London. Cabo Cobb's been one of the founding members of San Antonio, and we've been pushing for, under his direction for a while now. So, and great class we had on Friday also, and a great series of classes. If y'all been paying attention on Saturday, the Sabbath classes are like mini movies, man.
Oh, brother.
So if y'all get a chance to keep up with the Sabbath, man, it's so instructional, and it gives us a chance to see the stories of the Bible, to learn the Bible, week by week. Yeah. So it's phenomenal to actually get the understanding of what's coming out on the Sabbath class as well.
It's like every week another layer of understanding is unrevealed.
Yeah, it just shows you how much depth that's in the Bible that we haven't yet to uncover, man. The word's like a treasure, man. It's hidden in a field. You got to dig it up, and that's what we're getting a chance to do from a standpoint of what we haven't never seen before. In many ways we haven't seen before. So shout out to our brothers and sisters also out there in Albuquerque, New Mexico, Florida, California, to everybody online that watch and pay attention. Much love to you and much success to your camps and your brotherhood and your households. All right. Last week we kind of touched on your faith defining your character, and we didn't get a chance to finish. And so we kind of want to go back and take another look and expose on that particular topic, finish it up, but also allow anybody, if they have any questions, to interject. But if not, there's still a lot on the plate that we still got to go through that we didn't finish from last week. All right. So first, let's get the definition of character so that we can kind of get a quick recap. It's been 7 days, so 8 days, so a week's been passed already. So just a quick recap from last. If you don't have it in your notes already, if you use the same notebook, you may have the definition already. All right. Or if you continue with the class, a lot of times we're doing part 2, part 3s. So it's a succession. So if you can, keep up with the notes to keep them together, because they all go together. So definition of character. Shout out, shalom, everybody on online in the comments section as well. Shalom to you as well, brothers and sisters. All right. So let's go ahead and get that definition. Whoever got it. Or characterize. It might be better. Characteristic might be better. Make it a little bit easier for you to get the full definition.
Characteristic.
You read it, yeah.
The noun, adjective.
Yeah, just start with what you got.
That constitutes the character.
So we're talking about the things that constitute the character. What does that mean in particular? Go ahead.
That marks the peculiar, distinctive qualities of a person.
So
or thing.
these are the things that make you special. These are the things that make you peculiar. These are the things that make you, these are attributes that you possess that make you different from other people. Now, we talked about how your faith is one of those characteristics. This is what separates believers to non-believers. This is what separates disciples, in their initial beginning learning, is that we just read last week about how Christ had the disciples be tested immediately after picking up some disciples that were willing to follow him. That said, we'll follow you wherever you go. But he said, foxes have holes, birds have nests, but the Son of Man have nowhere to lay his head. And then immediately the test began. So, but that had to remain to be seen about what they were made of. What constitutes them? What's inside of you as a person? So read that definition one more time.
Characteristic. That constitutes the character that marks the peculiar, distinctive qualities of a person.
So it's the things that do what?
That marks the peculiar, distinctive qualities of a person or thing.
Right, so it's what makes you different. It's what makes you special. And what should make you special as a follower of the Most High is your faith. That should distinguish you from other people. And we know this is true because when your faith is put to the test, your response to that tribulation, your response to whatever adversity is in front of you, determines and dictates your constitution as well. How do you respond to adversity? All right. So we got that definition. We'll start. There's more to that definition, but hold that definition for later because I'm a few more scriptures. We're gonna come back to it. All right. You right? All right. So first verse we're going to is 1 Timothy chapter 4, and let's read verse 12. Let's get this.
First Timothy chapter 4 and verse 12. Right?
Yep.
Let no man despise thy youth,
Go ahead.
but be thou an example.
It said be what?
Be thou an example.
Stop. Now you remember the definition of epitome, right? We had epitome last week, right? Or epitome. Some people say epitome. Some people say epitome. Same word. What was that definition we had from last week?
Epitome. Oh, mine.
Who had it? Nagahai had it. You had it last week. You remember?
Yes.
Anybody know off the top of their dome? Off the top of the head what epitome was?
Epitome wasn't to be the example of?
Yes, it was. Exactly what it is.
Yeah, to be the example.
You got the definition?
I don't have the example. I'm just
Who had the definition?
A person or thing that is a perfect example.
It says a person or thing that is a what?
A perfect example
As a perfect example of, go ahead,
of a particular quality or type.
or a particular quality or type. So last week we found out that the epitome of faith is who?
Christ.
Christ, Yahweh Shai. He is the perfect example of what it means to have faith. So we're supposed to pattern our example after his, because he's the premier example when it comes to faith. He's the premier example when it comes to belief and what it means to have hope. All right? There's no better example than Christ when it comes to faith. He's the epitome of faith. But when it comes to being a believer, read this right here in Timothy.
First Timothy chapter 4 and verse 12. Let no man despise thy youth,
Go ahead.
but be thou an example
You're supposed to be the example. We're supposed to be the perfect example of what?
of the believer.
Of a believer. Of somebody that believes in Christ. Now, there's a few qualities and characteristics that it's about to explain, and we're just going to touch a few. That it's about to explain that you're supposed to be the perfect example of. You're supposed to be the example of somebody that believes in the Most High. Somebody that believes is somebody that sets their hope and aspirations on the Most High intervening in their life and being a rewarder of the promises that He set up for us. So we're supposed to be this example. Read on.
But be thou an example of the believers
Go ahead.
in word,
And word and the substance of the content of what you say, which should be scriptures, because the scripture says that any man speak, let him speak the oracles of the Most High. So your word should be made up of what?
Scriptures.
Scriptures. What else?
in conversation.
So the substance of your conversation should be a godly conversation. The nature of your conversation should not be lewd, crass, or disrespectful, or unbecoming of a what? Of a believer.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be unbecoming of a believer. The nature of your conversation, the substance of your conversation should be made up of what the example of a believer sounds like, talks like, speaks like. What else?
In charity.
And what?
Charity.
And how you also offer yourself to the necessity and needs of the people around you. You're supposed to be the perfect example of what? Charity. Because these are the qualifications or characteristics of what? Of a believer. Somebody that has faith in the Most High. Just on more on this topic, 1 Timothy 1 and 5 real quick. So we can expound just a little bit on this charity. 1 Timothy 1 and 5.
1 Timothy 1 and 5. Now the end of the commandment.
So he's saying that how you know you understand all the commandments? That you understand what the Most High's orders are? The commandments are orders from the Most High. What proves that you understand the orders of the Most High is what?
Now the end of the commandment is charity.
Is that you know how to what? Give. This is what determines that you understand what the Most High orders from you. What the Most High is commanding of you. it can be reflected based upon your what? Your charity. That's how you know if you understand the commandments. Read on.
Says, is charity out of a pure heart.
And you do it out of what?
A pure heart.
Because somebody told me to do it.
A pure heart.
Because somebody made me do it.
Out of a pure heart.
Because I did it, but I was frustrated the whole time that I did it.
Out of a pure heart.
I did it, but I did it with some type of regret.
Out of a pure heart.
I do the work of the Most High, but I'm waiting on there's a string attached, and I'm waiting on the Most High to give me something in return.
Out of a pure heart.
It said, that's how you know if you understand the commandments. Because the things that you do for the Most High, you do it out of a pure what?
Pure heart.
You do it because it's right, and you want to do it. Or I do it because the money's good. Or I got a stable check. No, it's out of a pure heart. What else?
And of a good conscience.
And you do it out of a good conscience. Meaning, if the Most High, I wait for the Most High to reward me for my charity. I don't need rewards from men. I don't need accolades from men. I don't need approval from men. I don't need a pat on the back from men. I don't need a good job from men. I don't need validation from men.
Keep going. Keep doing it.
Yeah, you're doing great, brother. Keep it up. No, I do it because it's in my mind to do it. I know because I know what I'm doing is right. What else?
And of faith unfeigned.
And how do you know you understand the commandments? Because your faith is not what?
Feigned.
Feigned means what? Fake. A lot of people say they believe in the Most High, but their faith is what?
It's fake.
It's fake. There's a lot of people that walk around with fake faith. Faith that's not real.
It looks like fake.
It looks like faith. It may even sound like faith.
Do you think they believe it's faith?
You know what? Ignorance may allow them to believe in faith, but it's something that is evident that will be obvious for them to understand that it's not.
Okay.
And what is set to determine the reality of your faith is your response to tribulation. Your response to adversity and your response to tribulation always reveals what?
The sincerity of our faith.
The sincerity of your faith. How you deal or encounter adversity and tribulation will dictate and determine the substance of your faith, whether it's real or not. Wait till you get offended by somebody.
Then
And then you're going to know what?
the faith is real.
If the faith is real. Wait till somebody get under your skin. And you're going to find out if your faith is real or not. You had your hand up?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going off. I know the world talks about like having unconditional love. I guess would that be what this is?
Unconditional love is what we're supposed to have for the Most High. But the scriptures say, prove a friend.
Yeah.
It said, brethren, believe not every spirit.
Yeah.
But try the spirit by the spirit. It said, for many false prophets are going out into the world. So, yeah, what I owe, the things that I'm supposed to be owing is a pure conscience for those that are the household of faith.
Okay.
Them that believe, he said, do good to who? The godly men. Those are the ones that I'm supposed to do good to, knowing that who I do it for and why. You're not just supposed to do good to just anybody.
Yeah.
Unconditional love don't belong just to anybody. The scriptures say, cast not your pearls before what?
Swine.
It said, for they may trample them underfoot. Or give not that which is holy unto who?
The dog.
The dogs. What does that mean? That means you're supposed to have discretion when it comes to things that are truly valuable. But when it comes to unconditional love, that belongs to who? The Most High. And then you could show that by way of how you deal with your brothers around you. Because the Most High said, how can you say you love me whom you've not seen, but hate your brother who you see what?
Every day.
Every day. So the way that it's manifested, whether you believe in the Most High or not, or you have unconditional love of the Father, is how you treat the people around you. It's determined how you treat the people around you. Yes, sir.
You know the definition of unconditional?
No, that's not the topic, but it's not going off. All right, but we understand that people walk around with fake faith. So that's unbecoming of a believer. But to determine that fake faith, or if the faith is real or not, it's always how you encounter adversity. It always reveals it. Now, back to where we was at in Timothy. Let that go in Timothy. Finish where we was at in 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 12. I'm sorry. We did 1 and 5. Let's jump up back to 4 and 12.
Come, 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 12. Let no man despise thy youth, but be thou an example of the believers, in word, in conversation, in charity, in spirit.
It said in spirit. What does that mean? What else? Go ahead.
In faith.
He said, now faith is a topic that we're dealing with. How does your faith define your character? He said, but how do you know you're doing this in the right spirit? In faith. 1 Peter chapter 1, verse 22. And somebody give me the definition of purity. Somebody get the definition of purity real quick.
Purity.
Yep. Purity. 1 Peter 1 and 22. Read that.
1 Peter chapter 1 and verse 22 reads, seeing ye have purified your
They
souls
say you're supposed to purify your soul. Your soul's supposed to be purified. How?
in obeying the truth.
In obeying the truth. That's how you know you understand the commandments and you understand the truth. What is your behavior like? Read.
In obeying the truth.
Go ahead. How do you know you're obedient to the truth? How do you know you understand the commandments? Because your faith is unfeigned. And what else? Read.
In obeying the truth through the Spirit.
Through the Spirit. This is what we're talking about, right? We're supposed to be the example of the believers in spirit and in faith. Read on.
Unto unfeigned love of the brethren.
And also, your faith is not supposed to be fake. And how you deal with your brothers, your people, isn't supposed to be what?
Fake.
Unfeigned love of the brethren.
It's supposed to be sincere. Now, give me the definition of purity.
Purity.
Because this is one of the things, the characteristics of a believer. His behavior will dictate whether his faith or he's operating in the correct spirit. Read that.
Purity, cleanness.
It says his behavior, his characteristics, he operates in a clean manner. It's not sloppy, messy. It's clean. Cleanness. What else?
Freedom from foulness or dirt.
It says freedom from foulness or what?
Or dirt.
When people do dirt, they got hidden motives. Freedom from foulness or dirt. What else?
Freedom from guilt or the defilement of sin.
What else you got for purity? For in 1828.
Innocence.
Purity 1828. First definition.
Oh, okay, purity. It says freedom from foreign admixture.
There you go.
It said freedom from foreign what?
Admixture.
Admixture meaning contaminated. They're not contaminated. What else?
It says or heterogeneous matter. As the purity.
It's outside matter.
Yeah.
People mix their faith in the truth with worldly concepts and worldly ideologies and worldly beliefs, or the code of the street and the truth put together, or my mama's house and the truth put together. People mix those two realms. I'm part flesh, part spirit. It's supposed to be I'm all scripture, I'm all biblical. When we start mixing the worlds together, then we start mixing concepts together, then we start altering the truth.
Yep.
Now we're mixing Bible and podcast. Podcast version of purity.
Yep. I want to get something real quick in this. Get this Strong's definition real quick of this purity. It's Strong's. It says purity. It says chastity. It says chastity and uprightness of life. So how do you know that somebody's life is denoting that of a believer? Is because their life they exhibit chastity, discretion, and also there's an uprightness in their life. They're not sinister, they're not malicious, they're not backbiting, they're not phony in their presentation. You can tell by their lifestyle that they're an example of the believer. Their lifestyle, their behavior denotes that they're a believer. Look at their life. Because everybody can say, I'm a believer, I'm a Christian. How many people have used the Bible as a cover-up to map out and exude a plan of maliciousness. How many false prophets out there, people that say I'm a Christian, I'm a believer, use the Bible to get close to you. And then once they get close to you, their lifestyle is not that of a believer.
Or a whole nother book comes out.
A whole nother book comes out, or their behavior changes from what they presented to you. I thought you was a man of God. I thought you was a woman of God. I thought you was a believer. I thought you was a Christian. I thought you was a follower of Christ.
I'm on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Yeah.
Oh,
7 to 10.
7
7 to 10, I'm a believer. My behavior's on point. But he says, this is how you know they're operating in pureness. He said there's an uprightness in life. They have an upright lifestyle. There's no darkness intertwined in their behavior. Right?
Wow.
Purity, uprightness of life, blamelessness.
Wow. Good one.
Blamelessness.
Wow.
That means they're free from being accused because there's no faults that you can put on them because they exhibit the characteristics and the lifestyle of a believer.
Blaine, I can't point my finger.
I can't. There's no
to justify
smut.
my weakness.
There's no smut on your name. There's no dirt on your name. There's nothing I can throw at you to say it's your fault. Because their lifestyle is upright. He said, this is how you know you're dealing with what? The example of a believer. What else? Give me 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 3 and 4. Finish that last part, Amiyati, that you got in 1 Timothy 4. And right now you're probably on verse. Let me see.
End of 12. Yeah.
End of 12?
Con.
Yeah, the last part, right?
Con.
Read that.
Says, but be thou an example of the believers in word, in conversation, in charity, in spirit, in faith, in purity.
And so, more on this in purity, you're supposed to be the example in purity. What does that mean? Let's get this right quick in 2 Corinthians. I want you to get chapter 6. Read verse 3 and 4.
2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 3 and 4. Giving no offense in anything.
Nobody can say you offended me. If you're offensive in your behavior, you're not the example of a believer. If you're offensive in your nature, you're not the example of a believer. What else?
It says that the ministry.
And also what happens is, when I walk around offending, of being offensive, or my love of the brothers is fake. I say one thing but do another. I have an admixture lifestyle. I'm mixing in lust with faith. Read.
It says that the ministry be not blamed.
It says my behavior will give who a bad look.
It's a ministry.
The ministry. And the ministry represents who? The Most High Christ. So if I'm through my behavior giving the truth a bad name, giving Christ a bad name, giving the Most High a bad name, that's not the example of a believer. Because who does it fall back on? It falls back on the Most High Christ through my ill behavior, through my ill characteristics that I possess. What else?
Verse 4. It says, but in all things.
It says, but in everything about you. Read on.
Approving ourselves.
You're supposed to be approved. Go ahead.
Approving ourselves as the ministers.
You're supposed to be approving yourself, which means to prove or validate yourself as the what?
As the ministers.
In all my efforts, I'm trying to exhibit in all my characteristics, in my conversation, in my speech, in my faith, in my love for the brothers. I'm trying to prove that what?
It says approving ourselves as the ministers.
I'm a minister
of the Most High.
My lifestyle is supposed to reflect through the exhibition of these characteristics that I am a minister of who?
A minister of the Most High.
I'm a servant of who?
The Most High.
I am a disciple of who?
The Most High.
That's what the Most High wants. That in every aspect of your life, you're able through conversation, through speech, through behavior, through chastity, through how you live, where you're blameless, through your purity,
Commerce with people.
how you exchange with people, in your exchanges with people, that you're a minister of the Most High. All your characteristics supposed to reflect that, male and female. You're supposed to walk like the believer, talk like the believer, exhibit the attributes of a believer. That's what your faith should exhibit on a daily basis. That's what inspires people to follow the Most High. It's through you. You're not supposed to run people away from the Most High through your behavior. You're supposed to be inspiring people, motivating people to come to the Most High through your characteristics. That's how you know you're a believer. That's how you know it's sincere. That's how you know it's real. That's how you know you believe. All right? So we had to just show that there's some distinctions. More than one distinction. Faith is just one distinction that shows, man, this man is different from everybody else, or this woman is different from everybody else in the world. This is what separates this person. Look at the way they talk. Look at the constituents of their conversation. Look at what it's made of. Look at the ingredients of their conversation. Look at the pureness of their behavior. This is how you know what you're dealing with. That's what the Most High wants from each and every one of us. Now, back to Matthew, just to recap on last week. Matthew chapter 8, verse 18. Let's get this. Just to kind of touch base on last week. Matthew chapter 8. Start at verse 20 and then jump. We're going to jump down to the point.
Matthew chapter 8, verse 20. And Yahushua saith unto him, the foxes have holes, and the birds of the air have nests, but the Son of Man hath not where to lay his head.
Now he was just telling his disciples that was ready, that said out of their mouth, we're going to follow you wherever you go. So he was preparing them for the type of lifestyle and journey that they would be on, that it was good. They were going to be vulnerable and they were going to be inconvenient. He was prepping his disciples in the mind what it means to follow Christ. It's going to be adverse to your comfort. Jump down to verse 23.
Come. Matthew 8, verse 23. And when he was entered into a ship, his disciples followed him. And behold, there arose a great tempest in the sea, insomuch that the ship was covered with the waves. But he was asleep. And his disciples came in and awoke him, saying, Lord, save us, we perish.
They said we're about to die, right? Now we read last week in Psalms chapter 4, verse 5. Next brother, get that real quick. Where does that ability to sleep and to rest in a time of tragedy or discomfort or conflict or tribulation, where does that ability come from? We read this last week. Yes, sir.
I want you to know how to put the Most High first.
Yes. And there's a word for that. Read this in the verse. Psalms.
Psalms chapter 4, verse 5.
Yes, sir.
God, Psalms chapter 4, verse 5. Offer the sacrifices of righteousness and put your trust in the Lord.
That word is called what? Trust. That word is called trust, man. When you put your trust in the Most High, then you're able to be at peace. You're able to be at rest when situations conflict or oppose your comfortability. Read.
Verse 5. Verse 6. There be many that say, who will show us any good?
It said a lot of people, when things hit the fan, they become desperate and they become unbelieving in their speech because they say, man, ain't nobody gonna help me. Who's gonna help me? As if there is not a God. I ain't got no help. Is that how you respond to tribulation? I don't got no help. Who gonna help me? Then that's not a sign that you trust the Most High. That mind frame is opposed to somebody that trusts the Most High, that has faith. Read on.
Verse 6. Who will show us any good?
Who gonna show me any good? Who gonna take care of me? Who gonna look out for me? That's a sign of doubt.
And what about me?
What about me? That's a sign of doubt. Read on.
Lord, lift thou up the light of thy countenance upon us.
Pay attention to us. Read.
Thou hast put gladness in my heart,
Read on.
more than in the time that their corn and their wine increased.
Read on.
I will both lay me down in peace,
It says, I will lay me down in what?
Peace.
Peace. Read on.
and sleep. For thou, Lord, only makest me dwell in safety.
So we understand that sleep, peace, and safety is a reward to those that do what?
Righteousness.
That trust in the Most High. You're able to be calm in the midst of adversity because you know where your faith lies. You know who you believe in. You're able to withstand things that are very hard to swallow and deal with because your faith can match or overpower that form of doubt that comes your way. So peace, sleep, and safety are the reward of those that trust the Lord. That's why Christ was able to sleep on an erratic, uncontrollable ship that was about to capsize and turn over in the water. Finish that in Matthew chapter 8.
God. Matthew chapter 8, verse 26. And he said unto them, why are ye fearful? Oh, ye of little faith.
So the storm was needed. Now, when we read in the backdrop of this, historically in the scripture, Christ didn't actually have to take a boat to get where he was going. He could have walked. It was close.
Yeah, it wasn't necessary.
It wasn't really necessary to take the boat, but if we understand and deduce the reasoning behind why Christ got on the boat, it was to reveal two things. It was to determine what? Whether they trust the Most High or not. The storm was necessary because the storm is what reveals the situations is what reveal, do you really believe in the Most High or not? Where's your faith at? Who is it in? So it was necessary for two reasons. Number one, to reveal their faith, but also, read on.
Then he arose and rebuked the winds and the sea, and there was a great calm. But the men marveled, saying, what manner of man is this, that even the winds and the sea obey him?
And the second reason why the storm was necessary was to reveal that Yahweh Shai has power over the elements. And he has unlimited power on earth and in heaven. The Most High is granting him that. So he has the ability to give you safety and security in a situation where it may seem unfathomable, unrealistic, and impossible for you to get through. So he's showing you two things. He revealed through the storm that some people don't really believe as much as they should, even though they say, Christ, I'll follow you wherever you go. But also that when things are bad, you can put all your trust in Yahweh Shai. You can put all your trust in Christ. And he can take care of you in the most uncomfortable situations. So it was necessary. All right? So he's showing, last week we kind of touched on how people respond to tribulation determines the makeup of your faith, the character of your faith, what the ingredients of faith is about. Now this week we're talking about how does your faith define your character. So we're going to get into that too.
So there's a difference in angle.
Yes, there's a difference. One more from last week, Hebrews 11:4. Hebrews chapter 11 verse 4.
Hebrews chapter 11, verse 4.
Read that.
Hebrews 11 and 4. By faith, Abel offered unto the Most High a more excellent sacrifice than Cain.
It says when you look at the polarities or the differences, the distinction, the Most High gave us a contrast from the very beginning of the Bible in Genesis chapter 4, right? Somebody else give me Genesis 4 and 4 real quick. 4 and 3 and 4. And then hold where you at, Ahmad. You keep where you at because we're coming right back. Because the Most High, when we look at character, your character is what's supposed to distinguish you from other people. So right off the bat, we got two people that the Most High has given us to look at their characteristics. One is Abel and one is Cain. One the Most High approved of his offering. The other one the Most High rejected. So what is the interior of these two and what is the mind state of these two which determines whether the Most High rewards you with a blessing or the Most High rewards you with a curse. Read that.
Genesis chapter 4 and verse 4.
Verse 3. Start at verse 3, then 4.
Come. Verse 3. And in process of time it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground an offering unto the Lord. And Abel he also brought of the firstlings of his flock.
It says right off the bat, we realize that Abel, the difference that you can see is what?
He brought the firstlings.
What does that mean?
Very best.
The best, the first fruits,
For himself.
that which grew the strongest, that which grew the which was
Most
the
profitable?
Choice.
the choice selection of his crops, the best of what he grew and what he had to offer. Right off the bat, you could see. Say it again.
Okay. Like pristine quality.
Yeah, it was of the best quality. He said, "Man, I'm gonna give the Most High this. I'm gonna set aside to give the Most High this as the offering. Although I got all these crops, what is the best of my crops? Let me locate the best of it, the most healthiest, the most vibrant in color, the most luscious. Let me give the Most High the best of what I have grown, and I'll give him that first, and I'll take the rest."
And was happy to do it.
Very happy to do it. Very happy to do it. So, right off the bat, we're able to see when we observe two different characteristics of two different mind frames of people. Some people give the Most High what they feel the Most High deserves. Some people give the Most High the best of what they have to offer.
Real faith.
Versus what? Feigned faith. Now, read on.
Verse 4. And Abel he also brought of the firstlings of his flock.
Now, what makes Abel stand out? Finish that definition of character, Uriah, that you had, 1828. Characteristic act.
Characteristic says that constitutes the character that marks the peculiar distinctive qualities of a person or thing.
Go ahead.
Generosity.
It said what? Whoa. It said what?
Generosity.
How do you know somebody is made up of good character? Because they're what?
Generosity.
Because they're full of what? Generosity. Another word for charity. I mean, generosity is charity.
Wow.
So you're able to look at Abel's offering. Abel's offering was full of what?
Generosity.
Generosity. And what was one of the evidential things that you know you understand the commandments? That you're full of what? That you're full of charity. This is how you know you understand the commandments. Because you're full of charity. And your charity is pure. It's sincere. What you do for the Most High is pure. There's no, the Most High better take care of me on the back end.
Better.
He better take care of me on the back end. Or I'm going to throw all my work in the Most High's face. I'm going to throw everything that I've suffered in the Most High's face and say, you better take care of me or else. You about to lose a believer.
I want to give him a pink slip.
You're gonna lose it. I'm going to unfollow you.
Yeah. That's what brothers do.
Unfollow the Lord.
That's really the Most High subscribe like.
Yeah. He got
100 billion.
He got 100 billion subscribers. And you're just going to say, you know what? I'm unfollowing you because I did all this work and it feels like it's for nothing. Now, when is that work all for nothing? There's a chapter where you feel like all the work is in vain. When you go to Job, chapter 15, let's read this real quick. No, it's not part of the class, but we're going to bring it in anyway.
What was the question you asked?
When is all the efforts in vain?
What verses?
Start 23.
Okay.
Job chapter 15 and verse 23 reads, He wandereth abroad for bread.
He said, this man wandered abroad for what?
Bread.
The Most High got a man starving. He got you.
Wow.
He got you broke. He got you broke. He said he wandered around for what?
Bread.
Go ahead.
Say.
And he say he looking for money. He because bread is money. He's short on what? He's short on substance. So what does the Most High afflict a person that doesn't have real generosity?
He inflicts their substance.
He afflict their bread. Your bread is what?
The substance.
Your substance. We don't call it. What do we call bread today? Your money, your pocket. The Most High directly affects your pocket because what you do is for a reason that's not sincere. It's not pure. So the Most High know how to come in and hit that what? Bow. He knows how to hit that pocket. Bow. He slam your bank account. He slam your increase. This is what he did to Cain. He said, I'm not acknowledging that offering that you give me. I'm gonna slam your reward. I'm not giving you I'm not letting you increase. You're gonna be frustrated. I'm gonna frustrate your increase. And he said, you're gonna be doing what?
He wandered abroad for bread, saying, where is it?
Where's the money? Show me the money.
That's what he said.
Show me the money, man. That's what it comes down to.
That made no sense.
It comes down to the bottom dollar. Let's get down to the bottom dollar.
It's my money and I need it now.
It's my money. I need it now.
Funny.
I need it right now. So, what does the Most High do to reveal when somebody's intentions are not all the way pure?
He breaks bread.
He break that bread, and not breaking bread.
He'll break your bread.
He break your bread. Yes. Another definition of breaking bread. He ate your money up. He said the man said what?
Where is it?
Where's the money? Read on. Nobody knows where the money went. Only the Most High know where the money went. About the money. Read on.
He knoweth that the day of darkness is ready at his hand.
Man, I'm broke, and if I don't get this money now, it's about to get bad. It's around the corner. Read on.
Trouble and anguish shall make him afraid.
Because I'm in the process of losing. He said, trouble and anguish shall make him afraid. Hold this. We're going to come back to this later on. Now, but don't forget where you're at. Yes, sir.
Wonderful.
Go ahead. Right on.
It's right on it. Isaiah 33 and verse 14.
Isaiah chapter 33, verse 14.
Verse 14.
Isaiah chapter 33, verse 14. I'll be right.
Yep.
It says, the sinners in Zion are afraid.
It says the sinners in Zion get this mentality. The sinner is that faithless person. When things don't start working out, when a job looks uncertain, when you lose a job, when the prospects of getting a promotion is not there, when the realities of the bills is coming up, that first of the month is coming up, now you're questioning, did I make the right decision? Leading up to this point, am I in the right place? Now I'm questioning my circumstance. But this is a sinful mentality. This is a faithless mentality. Read on.
Fearfulness hath surprised the hypocrites.
The crazy part is the Most High will show you a hypocrite due to your fearfulness. The fact that you're fearful shows you.
Hold this verse. Okay. Don't forget it.
Okay, I'm not.
When I point at you next time like this,
okay.
When I say hit it,
okay.
I want you to hit it. All right. Hold this, because it's speaking too fast, too quick. Hold that beat right there.
Yeah.
I'll write it down.
We're gonna stay in the pocket. But bring that guitar riff out in a minute. That's gonna be added to the song in just a second. So repeat what you had right there. That's why I say hold Joe, but this is gonna go right with what you're bringing out. So don't forget it. Bring it out in a minute. Finish that definition right there one more time. That latter part that made Abel special.
It says generosity.
It says generosity. Right off the bat, we're able to see that Abel's generosity and what he did for the Most High was sincere. It came from a sincere place. So the Most High expanded and acknowledged his sacrifices. Read.
Is often a
It
characteristic.
says generosity is also a characteristic, which we just read in 1 Timothy 4, that you're supposed to be the example of the believers in faith and in charity also, which is your generosity. Read on.
Is often a characteristic virtue
It's a virtue. It's a strength. Read on.
of a brave man.
Of a what?
Of a brave man.
So it shows you that that characteristic of a generous person, a person that has pure charity, that's not afraid to giving the Most High his best, that's a significant sign of what?
Bravery.
Of bravery.
That's crazy.
So through Abel's sacrifice, he showed the Most High that he was what?
Brave.
That he was
Courageous.
brave, man. That he was courageous. Get the definition of bravery. Who would have known that Abel was a brave man? He died quick.
Proving it in a way that you wouldn't necessarily associate it with.
Exactly. That you wouldn't normally see.
Yeah.
Who would ever associate Abel's characteristics as being a defining element of bravery?
It makes sense.
Bravery. Courage.
It says what?
Courage.
So Abel had what?
Courage.
Because courage, fear is the opposite of courage. Read on.
Heroism.
Heroism. What else?
Undaunted spirit.
Undaunted spirits, meaning he never gets down in his spirits. He's not perplexed by anything. He's not depressed at times. Read.
Fearlessness of danger.
What else?
Intrepidity.
Go ahead.
Gallantry. It says often united with generosity.
It says often united with what?
Generosity.
So how does the Most High know a courageous man?
Generosity.
Through his lack of fearness when it comes to giving to the Most High his best. This is how the Most High was checking and examining courage and bravery.
Oh.
It was through your sacrifices to the Lord. He was checking your courage.
I gotta finish this definition.
Yes.
It says often united with generosity or dignity of mind which despises meanness.
It says it's dignity of mind, which to have dignity of mind is to have the Most High in your thoughts, which despises what?
Meanness.
I mean, it's how you look at something, based on how you perceive something. If I acknowledge the Most High with dignity, versus meanness means base or low degree, a real base or low degree.
Meanings of little value.
A little value. So based on how I look at the Lord is going to show whether I'm brave, courageous, or fearful. When we go to Matthew 25, he says that the one servant he gave one talent to, he says,
I knew you were.
I knew you were. His excuse was, I knew you was a hard man,
I was afraid.
austere man, and one that seeketh where you sow it not. He said, so I was what? I was afraid. He said, so I hid the talent in the ground. But here you can have it back. You were supposed to do something with that. But this is how you denote bravery, courageousness, or fearlessness is based on somebody's generosity. The generosity is known through your perspective of how you look at the Most High. What made Abel different, what made Abel special, is that you could see how he looked at the Most High based upon his generosity, based upon his charity, based upon his sacrifice, showed you his heart. It shows
because he had to.
Not because he had to.
Or the situation required.
It was a free will offering. It was something he chose to do because it showed how he looked at the Father. How you look at the Most High is critical based upon how much you actually give your best or not. That's why the scriptures say the Most High is a rewarder of them that what? Diligently seek him. The Most High will take care of you if you're pursuing the Most High with that level of passion. But now he says that characteristic of generosity is a characteristic of true bravery, right? Give me 1 John chapter 3, verse 12. 1 John chapter 3, verse 12.
1 John chapter 3, verse 12.
Read that.
1 John chapter 3, verse 12. Not as Cain.
It said, don't be like who?
Not as Cain.
So in the Bible, you have characteristics on display. You got Abel's characteristics on display. You also have Cain's characteristics on display. Now, we're supposed to be the example of believers. We're supposed to be following after Abel's example, not Cain. He said, not as Cain. We're not supposed to be duplicating Cain's behavior. Cain was what? Read.
Not as Cain, who was of that wicked one.
He said, that man had wickedness in his heart. That man had Satan all in his mind. How do you know? Read.
And slew his brother.
He says he killed his brother. Now, when you look at murder, there is a such thing. I went through a class about it a long time ago about tongue murder, about heart murder.
Yeah.
When you murder somebody where?
Anytime.
In your tongue, in your mind. You don't have to kill somebody physically to be a murderer. But when you slander somebody, when you diminish the respect that a person should receive, or you treat somebody illly with a lack of respect, you murder them in your mind. Why though? Why did Cain do what he did? Read on.
It says because.
It said because what?
His own works.
It said because what?
His own works were evil.
It said because his own works were evil.
It had nothing to do with Abel.
This is the
Offending him.
at all. This is a natural man's solution to his own failure.
Get rid of the competition.
Get rid of the competition. This is a natural man's solution to his own failure. When somebody has failure within themselves and they're rejected by the Most High for themselves, and they're not getting acknowledged by the Most High for themselves, when they're not getting blessed by the Most High for themselves, their next motion is to assassinate your character. This is why we have people that talk about the camp. This is why we talk about, well, y'all brothers ain't real brothers. This is why we got people that don't associate, affiliate, fellowship, because it's not the other person's fault. This is the solution that you come up with based on your own failure. Now you despise somebody else whom the Most High is not looking at that way, that has more bravery than you, that's more courageous than you. So you attack those that have characteristics that you don't possess. Now I'm talking down on the next person. Now I'm talking down on the sister. Now I'm talking down on the brother. Now I'm talking down on what the Most High represent. Because I lack bravery.
Oh, hoping the worst.
Hoping the worst. Hoping it fails. Because I lack courage. Because I lack bravery. Because I lack generosity. Because I lack charity. So now I'm attack people that do got charity. Now I'm attack people that do got generosity. That's what people do. That is the natural man's solution to his own failure, is to attack other people. Make other people look like the bad person. Now I'm accuse you.
Turn the narrative. Okay?
It's all your fault.
Yeah.
I'm going to take my anger out on you. I'm justified to show my wrath on you when you've done nothing. You've done nothing to deserve. Abel did nothing to deserve that type of treatment. Nothing. But because you're not right with the Most High, and the Most High is not honoring you, and your sacrifices aren't pure, now it's everybody else's fault. Now I can look at the world and I can look at people in a negative way, in a negative light. I can project all my disgust on other people. Okay. Well, we know what that is. That's murder. We know exactly what that is. Now, Last week we also went to 1 Kings chapter 17. Let that go. And let's get 1 Kings chapter 17. No, finish that in Genesis. Just want to finish that last point. Genesis 4 and 4.
Genesis chapter 4, verse 4. And Abel he also brought of the firstlings of his flock, and of the fat thereof. And the Lord had respect unto Abel and to his offering.
And so because the Most High had respect unto Abel's offering, because we found out that this man was made up of more than just planting crops. He was actually courageous. He was fearless. He gave the Most High his best, and he wasn't afraid of loss.
His good heart.
He had a good mind. So the Most High acknowledged that and multiplied his blessing and received that offering and blessed him even more with abundance. Read on.
Says, but unto Cain and to his offering he had not respect. And Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell.
And you know why? Because Cain didn't know how to look at the Most High the right way. He didn't know how to put the Most High first. Let that go, and let's go to 1 Kings chapter 17. And to finish up, kind of like the recap of last week. Yes, sir.
I was wondering if you still wanted me to go back to Hebrews 11 at any point. Are you done with it?
11 and 4, right?
Con.
Yeah, finish that.
Con. Hebrews chapter 11, verse 4. That was right before what he just read.
Yeah, read that.
Con. Hebrews chapter 11, verse 4. By faith, Abel offered unto the Most High a more excellent sacrifice than Cain.
And what made it about faith? Because he wasn't afraid to give the Most High's best. He wasn't afraid to give the Most High what grew first. The firstlings of his flock. The firstlings of his oxen, of his cattle. He wasn't afraid. The strongest of his flock. Read on.
By which he obtained witness that he was righteous.
And this is what made Abel what?
Righteous.
So the Most High looked at Abel as righteous based off his offering. This is very important, because if we're witnessing what the Most High is looking at to denote righteousness, he's looking at what you're made of. He's looking at your characteristics. He's looking at how you put forth your effort towards him. Read on.
The Most High testing of his gifts, and by it, he being dead, yet speaketh.
It says, so it shows you that generosity, charity, has long-standing effects with the Father. It's immortalized, just like alms. It's immortalized with the Father, meaning it always maintains its value. Your offering, your sacrifices, always maintain its value with the Father. It never loses its value. It goes beyond death. Finish that?
Verse 5.
Yep.
By faith, Enoch.
That's it. So
Okay.
let's go to 1 Kings chapter 17 and read verse 10 real quick. We're gonna just kind of go back on this point just real quick. First Kings chapter 17, read verse 10.
1 Kings chapter 17 verse 10. So he arose and went to Zarephath. And when he came to the gate of the city, behold, the widow woman was there gathering of sticks. And he called her and said, Fetch me, I pray thee, a little water in the vessel that I may drink. And as she was going to fetch it, he called to her and said, Bring me, I pray thee, a morsel of bread in thine hand. And she said, As the Lord thy power liveth, I have not a cake, but a handful of meal in a barrel, and a little oil in a cruse. And behold, I am gathering 2 sticks, that I may go in and dress it for me and my son, that we may eat and die. And Elijah said unto her, Fear not.
He said what?
Fear not.
He says we're dealing with what?
Fear.
Fear. Generosity.
True.
She didn't want to be generous because her condition was perplexed. Her condition didn't want to allow her to open up her charity. Her condition was withdrawing her ability to say, you know what? I want to, but I don't know if I can. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to survive through the rest of this day if I give you what I have in reserve or in store for just me and my son. I barely got enough for me and my son.
And this takes a lot of courage versus just fighting some Goliath.
Your last?
Goliath's a major. He's a major guy. But giving your last and you're starving to death, that's a whole different dynamic.
That's a whole nother test of faith. Read on.
Huh. And Elijah said unto her, Fear not.
He said what?
Fear not.
So we understand that we're not supposed to be afraid being the disciples or followers of Christ, being the example of believers. We're not supposed to be rolling in that kind of fear when it comes to what we give the people that observe the commandments of the Most High, the work of the Most High, the ministry. Read on.
Go and do as thou hast said.
He said, go and do what I told you to do. Read on.
But make me thereof a little cake first.
He said, but make sure you take care of me what?
First.
So the story last week was about priority. And the blessing that came out of the story, you don't need to read on. We understand what happened on the rest of this. The blessing that came from the end of the story is people that understand how to put the Most High what?
First.
Abel knew how to put the Most High what? First. Because what allowed him to put the Most High first? His faith. His faith allowed him to put the Most High first. That faith allowed him to see, you know what? Let me give the most. I'm not afraid to lose for the Lord. Not afraid to lose. If I lose for the Lord, no problem. The Most High reward and give it back. Not afraid to lose for him. So last week we talked about how that faith is knowing and understanding how to put the Most High first in everything that I do. And the Most High will take care of me on the back end. Even after death, like we read about Abel. Right? Now, we read also in Isaiah 54, read that real quick, 5 and 6. 4 through 6. We also read this last week.
Isaiah 54?
Yep.
Chapter 54, verse 4.
Yep.
God.
Now, we had to go back on all these verses because we didn't get a chance to finish last week, but I want to quickly try to run through as fast as possible what we did last week and expound on it and then continue what we didn't finish. Read that.
Isaiah 54 and 4. Fear not.
It said what?
Fear not.
Read on.
For thou shalt not be ashamed.
It said, for you won't be ashamed. Read on.
Neither be thou confounded.
And you won't be confounded, confused, overtaken. Go ahead.
For thou shalt forget the shame of thy youth.
Go ahead. He says, because the mistakes that you make in your youth, the Most High will allow you to pass through those errors. He will wink at those errors that you make in your youth. Read on.
And shall not remember the reproach of thy widowhood anymore.
And we understood that woman in Kings was a widow. And she had a son, and she had no man, and she had no food. But the Most High said, no, don't worry, don't be ashamed, don't be afraid in your widowhood. We understand that in this verse, it wasn't talking just about this woman. Read on.
Verse 5. For thy maker is thine husband.
Go ahead.
The Lord of hosts is his name.
Read.
And thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel, the power of the whole earth, shall he be called. For the Lord hath called thee as a woman forsaken and grieved.
And we understand that widow woman, that woman forsaken and grieved is who?
Us.
Is us. We understand that that's us. That woman in 2 Kings or 1 Kings 17, that woman is us. So he's telling us not to be afraid to give. Don't be ashamed because you only got a little to give. When you go to Tobit chapter 4, read verse 8. You already there?
Oh, my God.
Oh, man, really hit it. Hit it!
Tobit 4 and verse 8. If thou hast abundance, give alms accordingly. If thou hast but a little.
It said, if thou hast but what?
A little.
Go ahead.
Be not afraid.
It said what?
Be not afraid.
If you only got a little bit, he said, be not what?
Afraid.
To do what?
To give according to that little.
To give according to that little. So what the Most High is examining is, he's not looking at the quantity of what you possess to determine if you're righteous. He's not looking at the quantity of what you possess to determine if it's an adequate sacrifice. But he is looking at what you can give. What can you give? What can you do? What can you offer the Most High? It's not about, because a lot of people think, Lord, once I hit this record contract, once I hit this deal, once I get this job, once I get this security, once I get this bonus, once I get this income tax, I'm going to show you that I'm going to take care of
I'm
you.
all there.
I'm all in with you. When I get this money, let me get this money first, and then I'm going to show you that I'm with you. Let me get my money up. The Most High is like, no.
Yeah, but meanwhile they're investing in that actual company.
Yeah, but meanwhile, their focus and what's important is that particular pursuit. The whole time, the Most High is secondary. But they expect the Most High to believe that, oh, you were going to get the money first, then you was going to give me an offer.
Mm-hmm.
You was waiting to come up first, then you was about to give and show that you're a believer. When the Most High is saying just the opposite. You don't have to have abundance to show the Most High where your heart is at. Now, go back to where you was at in that scripture that you pulled in Isaiah.
Isaiah
Yeah.
chapter 54.
No.
Isaiah 33 and verse 14.
Read that.
Isaiah chapter 33 and verse 14.
And who was holding Job 15?
I think it was Joel.
And somebody get Job 15 real quick.
I got it. Job 15 and verse 23.
Yep.
Is
Hold
it-
on, read what you got first.
Isaiah chapter 33 and verse 14. The sinners in Zion are afraid. Fearfulness has surprised the hypocrite.
It says fearfulness has surprised who?
The hypocrite.
Because the Most High knew that person was going to be what?
The hypocrite.
The hypocrite. You saying that you're going to bless me accordingly and serve me accordingly when you come up. When the Most High knows that speech is what?
It's false, sir.
It's false. It's phony. You're not going to make me the focus when you come up.
And the word hypocrite means play actor.
A play actor.
So a person's acting like, when I get this, I promise I'm going to do this when I get this.
Yeah.
And then when you get this, the Most High gets the bait and switch.
Bait and switch, bro. That's a classic car salesman right there.
Yeah.
I showed you. I pulled out the car that I had on the ad, and then when you come to do the test drive, it's a whole different car. The whole
I guess
bait-
this is nice.
You showed me your picture on Facebook, and when we met up at the mall, I didn't recognize that picture I saw on Facebook. You told me that you were going to pay me this amount of money on the job. I took the job, and I'm not getting that kind of money. What is happening? The Most High knows that that's hypocrisy. When you tell the Most High, I'm going to do this, if you do this, I'll give my best, I'll give my all, I'll make you priority. The Most High knows that person is what?
A hypocrite.
Is a hypocrite. Now, read that one more time.
Isaiah 33 and 14. The sinners in Zion are afraid. Fearfulness has surprised the hypocrites.
He said, fearfulness have surprised the hypocrites. Read on.
Who among us shall dwell with the devouring fire?
Now, go back to where we was at in Job 15, verse 23.
It says, Job 15 and verse 23. He wandereth abroad for bread, saying, where is it? He knoweth that the day of darkness is ready at his hand.
Go ahead.
Trouble and anguish shall make him afraid, and they shall prevail against him as a king ready to the battle.
Now, jump down to verse 34.
Verse 34. For the congregation of the
It
hypocrites.
says, because what we're dealing with. We're dealing with who?
The hypocrites.
Those that say, I'm going to give the Most High my best. Those that say, I'm going to give the Most High my all.
That's dope.
Those that say, I'm going to put the Most High first.
I promise.
I promise, just let me come up first. Let me get mine first. Then I'm going to make you number
I
one.
promise.
Because then the Most High come back and do what? The Most High comes back and does what? He smashes the money of people that say they're going to put the Most High first, but don't. It was a play act. It was a performance. He says, the congregation of the hypocrites, read on.
It says, "For the congregation of hypocrites shall be desolate."
So the Most High makes sure he dries up who?
The hypocrites.
The hypocrites. He dries them up. He dries their money up. Read on.
And fire shall consume the tabernacles of bribery.
And they trying to bribe the Most High. I'm trying to bribe the Most High out of a blessing. Because I told you, Lord, I will put you first as a believer. As long as you take care of me. And once he takes care of us, then we do what? We put him second. He's not that important. We renege on what we offer the Most High.
I got a lot of this going on right now.
So what is that we're doing to the Most High? You trying to bribe the Most High. My condition, say it again. You trying to pimp the Most High? I tell the Most High, you change my condition. You change my circumstance. You help me out. You bless me accordingly.
Look out.
And you look out for me, and I will make you number one. The Most High change your condition. He bless you. He take you out of the circumstance. He helps you out. And you show the Most High what? You are number one. He said, oh, okay. Joke's on you, right?
Yeah.
Joke's on the Lord. Scripture says, Galatians, be not deceived. The Most High is not mocked. You can't mock the Most High.
That's true.
The joke is not going to be on the Most High. The Most High always gets the last laugh.
True.
He always get the last laugh. He said, the bribery what?
It says, "For the congregation of the hypocrites shall be desolate, and fire shall consume the tabernacles of bribery."
He said the Most High is not dealing with no person that's trying to bribe him. Either you're going to put the Most High first and be accepted like Abel, or you're going to be bribing the Most High to bless you and then turn your heart around once he does. Read on.
It says, "They conceive mischief."
It says because the whole time they was doing what?
It's plotting.
They was plotting. I was scheming on the Lord. I was scheming on the Most High out of a blessing. You know how many men that come across that say, man, you know what? I've actually seen this. Men that say, I ain't never leaving the Most High in Christ. This is actually a true story. I ain't tripping, you know, because anything can happen to anybody. But a brother said, I ain't never leaving the Most High in Christ. 2 weeks later, he got a rib and he left. It's a true story. That's all it took was a rib. Like, you pulled your card on a rib. You pulled a rib card on the Most High.
Yeah.
So you was plotting. You was telling everybody in the camp and all the brothers and sisters, man, I ain't never going nowhere in the Most High. A war heard another story similar.
Yeah.
A brother said, I cut my woman's throat for the Most High for your house.
Wow. What are you talking about, brother?
And shortly after that man disappeared. You know what I'm saying? Who was he trying to persuade?
So
He's trying to persuade himself or pimp the Most High.
Yeah.
Pimp the Most High out of a blessing.
Yeah.
Lord, give me this car. I'll come to class. Oh, you're just waiting to get a car to come to class. So when the Most High give you the car, are you going to come to class every class? Lord, let me get this job and I'll pay my tithes. Let me get this job. So are you going to wait to get this job to pay your tithes? What are we doing at that point? Read that last verse.
it says, "They conceive mischief and bring forth vanity, and their belly prepareth deceit."
He said the Most High know. He said their belly is prepared deceit. They're lying based upon what they want.
Wow.
They're lying based upon their want. Their desires is making them lie to the Lord.
I'll do anything for this.
Say it again.
I'll do anything for this.
I
I'll lie, cheat,
got a point. It's right on point. I just said. It's Wisdom of Solomon 15 and verse 11 and 12. I'll read it.
Hold on, you got it on the screen?
No, I'm not asking.
Get it on the screen.
Read that.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 15, say it, verse 12.
11 and 12.
11. For as much as he knew not his maker, and him that inspired into him an active soul, and breathed in a living spirit. But they counted our life a pastime, and our time here a market for gain. For say they, we must be getting every way, though it be by evil means.
He said we must be getting by every way, no matter what, even if it's by what?
Evil means.
Even if it's, I gotta get mine no matter what.
Regardless.
Even though what we do is wrong.
Even though what we do is wrong. You know what I'm saying? That's a rap song like that.
He said you count this life for a pastime. This is a stepping stone to my next adventure in life.
Yeah, this is just
It's
a
my
phase.
platform. It's my platform right now.
This is a phase that I gotta go through to get the ultimate goal.
That's
so if I gotta
crazy.
play the part of a believer, then I'll play the part of the believer
To get my
until
blessings.
until I get my blessings. And then once I get my blessings and the Most High establish me, then my true nature comes out.
Man.
And you can't fake the Most High, do a juke move on the Lord. You can't be like, ha, ha, got you.
That's real. That's,
I went right, you went left.
yes.
I hit you with a jab step. I hit you with a juke and a jab step.
Get it.
You know what I'm saying? I hit you with the James Harden,
Yeah.
the step back 3. Pow, I hit you with the step back. Chef Curry on you. You're not doing that to the Most High, man. You're not plotting and scheming on the Most High. Get what you want on the front end, and then on the back end, be ghost. The Most High said, I got something for you. That's already been written in the scriptures. That behavior has already been shown and demonstrated to be useless. It doesn't work with the Lord. This is why the Most High blessed Abel over Cain.
So we're not really, to be honest with you, let's bring it out. We really don't understand even the first story in the Bible.
We don't really get it. From the very beginning, we don't understand the depth of what we read and the magnitude of what the Most High is showing us from the scriptures to relate to our life. You're supposed to be relating your life to these stories in the Bible because they dictate and determine your blessings and your rewards, or what the Most High decide to take from you, or allow not to grow. Now, we finished that from last week. We're going to continue on in the class from this week. Let's go to 2 Kings chapter 4. Let's start at verse 1. I know that's a lot to grab hold on to, but we got to keep moving.
Man, I did a little good, man. I get God some.
Yeah.
You got some.
Yeah.
I did some good.
Yeah.
I would have been worse if I hadn't come here.
Yeah.
You're lucky I showed up.
You're lucky I showed up.
Lucky I even tried.
Yep. You better
Shalom,
take what I give you.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a real thing.
Read that.
Need some here?
1 Kings chapter 4. Start at verse
I could be doing something else.
2 Kings chapter 4. I'm sorry. 2 Kings
You
chapter
doing
4
me?
verse 1.
You doing me? I took a break.
Read that.
2 Kings chapter 4 and verse 1 reads, Now there cried a certain woman of the wives of the sons of the prophets unto Elisha.
Now, we know that the sons of the prophets, obviously they had what?
They had children.
Not just
Oh,
children. They had what? They had wives.
Okay.
So although they were prophets of the Most High, they had a job to learn and study under Elijah and eventually under Elisha, the school of the prophets. So they still had what? They still had responsibilities. They still had a home life.
Yeah.
Even though their main goal was to prophesy and to teach. Read it again.
Come. Now therefore, Salakia, now there cried a certain woman of wives of the sons of the prophets unto Elisha, saying, Thy servant, my husband, is dead, and thou knowest that thy servant did fear the Lord.
It said, you know my servant feared the Lord. What else?
And the creditor is come to take unto my 2 sons to be bondmen.
Go ahead.
And Elisha said unto her,
He said a credit. We'll break it down. Read it first.
And Elisha said unto her, What shall I do for thee? Tell me, what hast thou in the house? And she said, Thine handmaid have not anything in the house, save a pot of oil.
Now, we just read that according to the woman that had the meal with the oil, the crucible oil, and a little bit of meal, a handful of meal, that you don't need much to show the Most High that you have faith in Him. Now we know this is true when you go to 2 Corinthians. What is it? Chapter 8, verse 12. 2 Corinthians, where he says, it's not according to, yes.
I have.
What a man have, read that. 2 Corinthians chapter 8, verse 12. Read
2
that.
Corinthians chapter 8, verse 12. For if there be first a willing mind,
It said the Most High is not looking at what you possess, how much of a substance you have in order to say, I'm a believer. Read.
it says, for if there first be a willing mind,
Hold that and finish that in Kings.
Come. 2 Kings 4, verse 3 reads, Then he said, Go, borrow thee vessels abroad of all thy neighbors, even empty vessels, borrow not a few.
Read on.
And when thou art come in, thou shalt shut the door upon thee and upon thy sons, and shalt pour out into all those vessels, and thou shalt set aside that which is full. So she went from him and shut the door upon her and upon her sons, who brought the vessels to her, and she poured out. And it came to pass, when the vessels were full.
Stop. Now we gotta go back. I know we bouncing, but I want to focus on this particular story, like we did last week in 1 Kings chapter 17, because there's a lot going on within this small, narrow passage. Start at verse 1 more time.
Now therefore cried a certain woman of the wives of the sons of the prophets unto Elisha, saying, Thy servant, my husband, is dead, and thou knowest that thy servant did fear the Lord.
Stop. What was this, Matt? We know that also that last week we talked about your character is part of your reputation, right? Now, get the definition of reputation. We talked about people know you. It's what you're made of. It's what distinguishes you from other people. It's what separates you.
Reputation.
Get the definition of reputation in 1828.
Reputation.
Read that.
Good name.
He says, you got a what?
Good name.
He said, so this woman is saying to Elisha, you know my husband he feared the Lord, and so you know he was a man that had a good name behind him. He had a good reputation. What else?
The credit, honor, or character.
So it is a what?
A character.
So your reputation is also part of your what?
Character.
It's part of your character. Now, how important is your reputation? Proverbs 22 says what? Proverbs 22 verse 1 says what?
Proverbs 21:22.
Yeah. 22, 1 and 2.
Proverbs chapter 22, verse 1. It says, a good name is rather to be chosen
It says it should be preferred over what?
than great riches.
Then what?
Than great riches.
So no amount of money can equivalent what? A good name.
Good name.
A good reputation. Let that go and finish that definition. We're going to finish that definition of how critical it is. Because what this woman is doing to ask Elisha of this blessing, she's first demonstrating what? My husband was a man that feared the Lord. Meaning, he's worthy of you hearing me out. Even though he's dead. This man is dead. Me and my sons are in need. But my husband, his character or his reputation, read that definition.
Reputation. It says good name. The credit, honor, or character which is derived from a favorable public opinion or esteem.
Go ahead.
Reputation is a valuable species.
Stop. It says reputation is a what?
A valuable species of property or right, which should never be violated.
It says your reputation should never be what?
Violated.
So how are you known? You should never violate what you're known for.
So people say that was my character. That I got out of character.
I got out of character.
People say.
Or I was tripping.
Yeah.
Or that's the old me.
That's the old me.
That's the old me. That ain't how I get down. I was tripping.
It's a bad day.
That was I had a bad day, or I had a lot going on.
Yeah, that's a better one.
Because that's what a lot of people say too. A lot of people say I have a lot going on. I had a lot going on.
That's a better one.
Who gives a damn about what you got going on? He said because a lot of people will make excuses to why they behave a certain way. But if you understand the value of your behavior, your conduct, it says it's a what?
Says, which should never be reputation is a valuable species of property or right.
It's something that you have that you keep towards you. That people look how people look at you. Remember, you're supposed to be the example of who?
Christ.
Of the believers.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be the example of the believers. So your name should constitute that I'm a believer. And it's a piece of property that you have, which is a part of your character. So what defines your character? How does your faith define your character? Because your reputation is known. You're known as somebody who has a certain quality of lifestyle. That what?
Says, which should never be violated. With the loss.
Yeah, it says should never be violated. Go ahead.
With the loss of reputation.
It says you violate your name when you lose the respect that people have for you through your misconduct. I'll say it again. You violate your reputation when you lose the esteem that the people around you have towards you through your conduct, through your behavior. This is what we talked about in the very beginning when you're supposed to be an example of the believers in conversation, in word, in charity, in purity, in spirit, and in faith. When you violate that through your conduct, when you violate that through your speech, you ruin your own reputation. You destroy your own character.
Nobody's slandering you.
Not just with man, but also with who? The Most High. Because you didn't value it. You didn't value the esteem that people have towards you, which they're supposed to see somebody that was blameless. So through your conduct, you destroyed your own damn reputation. You killed your own reputation and favor that people have towards you. Because you didn't value what it means to have a good name. You didn't think about that as being important. You didn't think that that's he said a valuable, what do you call it? A valuable species of property.
It's a particular type of cloth a person made.
It's a particular belonging. A piece of property is something that belongs to you. He said so it's valuable, but a lot of people don't value or don't care or care less how people look at them. So they operate a certain way that ruins their own credibility. You're supposed to be operating as a man of God or a woman of God, but your behavior shows that you're a hypocrite. Your behavior shows hypocrisy. And it's all because you had no respect for your reputation. Finish that definition of reputation.
It says, with the loss of reputation, a man, and especially a woman, loses most of the enjoyments of life.
And you start to what when you don't give a damn about your reputation?
Loses most of the enjoyments of life.
It said when you could care less, and you're gonna operate how you're gonna operate, nobody can tell you what to do, and you don't give a damn about how people see you. The scripture say get the love of the what? But you don't care about that. You just care about what you want. You know what starts to happen? You start to lose. You start to lose. And rightfully so, because you don't care about these aspects of character that are important to you, that should be important to you. The Most High said a good name is better than to be chosen as choice silver and gold. So why wouldn't you care about your reputation? Why wouldn't you care about your name? Because you undermine the value of it. You disregard the value of what it means to get the respect of the people around you through your conduct.
It's not. I don't esteem it. I don't appreciate it.
I want what I want, man. So the first thing we got to look at in 2 Kings, read that again. Well, that part where she said, "My husband."
Come, thy servant, my husband, is dead.
he said, you know what? I don't have my husband anymore, but he was of the sons of the prophets. Read on.
And thou knowest that thy servant.
He said, but you know his reputation. You know what kind of man he was. What kind of man was he? Read.
Did fear the Lord.
He was a man that feared the Most High. Read.
And the creditor is come to take unto me, Salakia, unto him, my 2 sons to be bondmen.
He said, now the creditor is coming to take what I got left as a widow, and they about to take my boys as collateral, as a debt slave, because I don't have enough to pay him back. Read on.
And Elisha said unto her, what shall I do for thee?
Now Elisha is motivated and excited to help this woman, because obviously this particular son of the prophet was a man of the Most High, and he was worthy of this, of his family being taken care of, even though he wasn't there, because of his work's sake, because of his exampleship, because of his character. He's worthy, his family is worthy to receive the benefits even though he's not there. Read on.
Tell me, what hast thou in the house?
Now, in a situation, he's saying, what do you have to sell? Meaning, when you're in a situation where you don't have enough, you got to start doing what? You got to start liquidating. You're going to start liquidating. You better. It's pawn season. It's garage sales. It's Facebook Marketplace. It's offer up. Come get it at the low. It's making phone calls. You got to reach out. This is what he said. Now you still got a responsibility. He said, what you got to sell first? Read.
And she said, thine handmaid have not anything in the house, save a pot of oil.
Now remember, we read earlier that in order to get the Most High to pay attention to your blessing or to honor what you have to offer, you don't have to have much. You don't have to have a whole lot for the Most High to acknowledge. We didn't finish Corinthians chapter 8. Read verse 13 again. 1 Corinthians 12 I mean. 1 Corinthians chapter 8 verse 12. We didn't finish it.
2 Corinthians chapter 8 verse 12.
Is it 2 Corinthians? Yeah, read that.
2 Corinthians chapter 8 verse 12. For if there be first a willing mind.
But you got to have a what?
Be first a willing mind.
But if you have first a willing mind, read on.
It is accepted.
It is what?
It is accepted.
So even though you don't have much to give or much to offer, the Most High still looking at what?
A willing mind.
Do you have a desire to reach out and get the Most High's acknowledgement? Do you have a desire for the Most High to acknowledge your sacrifice? Do you have a desire to bring some type of sacrifice to the table so that the Most High can observe it? What do you have that you can give? Read on.
It says, for if there be first a willing mind, it is accepted according to that a man hath, and not according to that he hath not.
So the Most High is not looking at you have to have great possessions in order to sacrifice to get his attention. It doesn't work that way. You have something. You have to find out within your own self what it is that you have that you can give the Most High, like Abel, where your sacrifice could still be honored. You still got to look at something you can give the Most High so he could take pleasure in and bless you. Read on. Not in Corinthians. Back in Kings.
Come. Verse 3. Then he said, go borrow thee vessels abroad of all thy neighbors, even empty vessels. Borrow not a few. And when thou art come in, thou shalt shut the door upon thee and upon thy sons, and shalt pour out into all those vessels, and thou shalt set aside.
She said, and when thou art come in, when you go borrow, not a few, meaning a whole lot, you go get a whole lot of vessels, as many as you can get, in preparation for what the Most High is about to do. He said, when you come back, he said, shut thy door. Do what?
Shut thy door. Salakia. Shut thy door upon thee and keep thy sons.
Now stop. What does that mean when Elijah is telling this woman, or Elisha actually is telling this woman to shut the door? What does that mean?
Like herself in, barricade herself in the house.
Matthew chapter 6, verse 6. Read this. Matthew chapter 6, verse 6. Read this. We got to understand what that means.
Matthew chapter 6 and verse 6. But thou, when thou prayest,
It says, when you prayest, go ahead.
enter into thy closet.
He said you're supposed to go in a closed off place. Meaning when you're trying to get the Most High to see what you're doing, you're supposed to isolate yourself. Allow yourself to be free from distractions. You got to remove all the distractions around you. That means you got to turn the TV off, man. That means you got to cut your phone off. That means you got to shut the door. That means you can't be out and about running errands, handling business. When you're trying to get the Most High's attention, you got to shut off everything, close your door. Meaning it requires focus. It requires focus, freedom from distraction. You have to go to a secluded place where it's just you and the Father. It can't be hectic and full of just
Commerce and business.
talks, dialect, aggression, arguing, debating. You got to close off. You got to shut everything down. And when you need something from the Lord, you got to just go one-on-one with the Most High. It's got to be one-on-one. You got to save some time from your whatever schedule you got, whatever obligations you got. You got to temporarily shut that off and go into your closet. Read.
Says, but thou, when thou prayest, enter into thy closet, and when thou hast shut thy door,
And when you do what?
when thou hast shut thy door,
Then what?
pray to the Father.
So you need to close the doors when it's just with you and the Most High. That means you got to shut off all your little business that you got going on. That means you got to shut certain things down in your life when you're in a position of need. You got to close off a lot of things, these pulls that you got, a lot of these distractions. People are just overwhelmed by distractions. Well, I just can't give no one-on-one time with the Father. It's never just me and the Father. It's me, the Father, and my phone. It's me, the Father, and the internet. Some type of social media platform. It's me, the Father, and YouTube. Me, the Father, and some music playing. Me, the Father, and some radio going, or the TV going. Me, the Father, and a bunch of people just pulling on me. You got to shut things down based on your particular need and learn how to close the door, block off whatever impulses you got. He said after you shut the door, then you do what?
Pray to the Father, which is in secret.
He says because the Most High is where?
In secret.
It said you calling on an invisible power. You know what that does? You know what's needed in order to truly call on an invisible power? You need focus and concentration. And he needs your undivided attention. He don't need your mind to be in 1,000 different places when you're petitioning the Lord for a favor. You got to shut stuff down, man. A lot of times we don't understand the power of what it means to give the Most High our undivided attention. Just one-on-one with the Father. Let me just get one-on-one with the Most High. I don't have to entertain 1,000 different distractions and then call on the Most High. If I'm giving him my attention with a partial ear, then he ain't listening to me either.
He doesn't want a service in the background.
I'm not taking him serious. That's like when you have a serious conversation with somebody and they won't turn their music down. Man, that's a jam, man. That's my joint. What's going on, brother? What's happening? I'm just vibing out. What's happening with you? Oh, man, for real? Sorry to hear that, bro. Man, that's crazy, bro. Wow. Man. Listen, bro, keep your faith up, bro. All right? You need to jam to what I'm jamming to.
That's in this council.
You're not taking that conversation serious? Neither when you call on the Lord, but you got all these different things going on in your mind. You're not giving the Most High 100% of you. You're giving the Most High 50-50. You halfway split still requesting something from the Lord. What it means to shut the door means you got to block out everything when you want something bad enough from the Most High. How serious are you in your pursuit to petition the Most High for your need? That's why he told this woman, go in the house and go close that damn door. Yeah, you broke. Yeah, you a widow. Yeah, you got boys to take care of. Yeah, you got a family to feed. But you know what you need to do right now? You need to work on your relationship with the Father and without entertaining distractions. You ain't giving the Most High enough. This is the behavior that you operate with when you're in preparation for a blessing. Or you're petitioning the Most High for a blessing. Go to Acts chapter 9, verse 40.
Acts chapter 9, verse 40. But Peter put them all forth.
Stop. Read verse 39.
Verse 39.
Verse 38.
Verse 38.
Read this.
Verse 38. And for as much as Lydia was nigh to Joppa.
Lydia. It's nigh to Joppa. Read.
Was nigh to Joppa, and the disciples had heard that Peter was there. They sent unto him 2 men, desiring him that he would not delay to come to them.
Now, when you read about this, this is when Tabitha or Dorcas had passed away, and Lydda and Joppa was 10 miles apart. So she died in the morning. Now, they had to go 10 miles to get Peter. And they asked Peter to come back 10 miles the other way. But why is that done with such speed? Because they have to bury her before sundown. So, you're not supposed to let somebody be out, nobody's body to be out overnight. That's the law. So, they got to do this with haste. They got to do this with speed. Read.
Then Peter arose. Middle of 38. They sent unto him 2 men, desiring that he would not delay to come to them.
Yeah.
Desiring him that he would not delay to come to them. Then Peter arose and went with them. When he was come, they brought him into the upper chamber. And all the widows stood by him weeping, and showing the coats and garments which Dorcas made while she was with them.
Read.
But Peter put them all forth.
What that means is Peter put them out. He was in the upper chamber and he kicked them all out the upper chamber. They was crying, weeping, showing the garments that she made. He said, I need y'all to get out of here. Same thing we read in Matthew. You got to shut the door. He can't do his work, being overthrown and with too many distractions. You can't call on the Most High when you got all these different distractions going on. That's why I say he had to kick them out. Read.
Verse 40, but Peter put them all forth and kneeled down and prayed. And turning him to the body, said, Tabitha, arise. And she opened her eyes. And when she saw Peter, she sat up.
So, showing you, in order to perform this level of miracle, what does it take?
Solitude.
It takes solitude, concentration, and focus undisturbed. It takes undisturbed focus with the Father. How many of us is giving the Most High undisturbed focus one-on-one? Or you reading the Bible with wine in front of you? Just sipping on wine, talking about you studying. I'm just going to kill this beer real quick and then get some studying in. Or you got music playing while you're studying. Sometimes you got to shut everything down, man. Or you on the phone talking about I'm studying. But I'm searching the web, but I'm supposed to be studying. But I'm going through all type of videos. I'm going all through the web, but I'm supposed to be studying. In order to get the miracles done that's needed for this time, you got to know how to shut things down. That's what that shutting the door represents. You got to close off distractions, even your own distractions. Primarily your own distractions. Yes, sir.
Christ went into the wilderness also.
God. By himself. Showing you just to expound on what that means, that when you're asking the Most High for something, the behavior that you show, that man, I'm gonna give the Most High my number one focus. There's not gonna be something fighting for power or control when it comes to me and the Most High's relationship. There's nothing else fighting for power or control. Let that go and come back to where we at in 2 Kings chapter 4.
Second Kings chapter 4,
Verse 4.
verse 4 reads, And when thou art come in, thou shalt shut the door upon thee and upon thy sons, and shalt pour out into all those vessels, and thou shalt set aside that which is full.
Now he says, listen, this is the instruction. You're gonna go get them, borrow those vessels. You're gonna go in your house. You're gonna close the door off. You're gonna pray. Shut the door, and upon thy son that shall pour out into all those vessels. Yes, sir.
Was there significance with having a bar from all that?
There is. Because we're going to show the significance right now. It is humility, but it's going to show something else. Read. I'll get to it.
Verse 5.
Good question. Read verse 5.
So she went from him and shut the door upon her and upon her sons, who brought the vessels to her.
And she says she sent her sons out to get the vessels. Read on.
And she poured out.
And she did what?
Poured out.
What does this mean when we just read? Go to James chapter 2, start at verse 17, to answer your question also about, was there significance about her going to borrow from her neighbors? And the execution of what Elisha had told her. Read this.
James chapter 2, verse 17. Even so faith, if it hath not works.
It says you got to have what?
If it hath not works.
So now what he did was he didn't just tell her that one little vessel of oil that you got, that little bottle that she got, that little one bottle of oil that she had. He didn't say, you know what, just use that same bottle of oil like Elijah did. Remember, Elijah told that woman, if you feed me first, he said that cruse of oil will never run out. She never had to go find other bottles to keep pouring more oil into. Elijah caused that one, through the prayer of the Most High, he caused that one bottle to never run out. That bottle was endless, a supply of oil. This woman was told to go get some more bottles. So it's still based upon what? Faith. Are you going to do what you're told? Because faith still requires what? Read it again.
James chapter 2, verse 17. Even so faith, if it hath not works.
Faith is work related. If you understand faith. Faith is work related. You don't talk about having faith without no work or evidence behind it. You don't talk about being a believer, an example of a believer, and there's no evidence behind it. You can't say you're a disciple of Christ and you're a student of Christ and there's no evidence behind it. He said, even so what?
Even so faith, if it have not worked.
You still got to put some work in. He still made that lady go do some work. Go to them neighbors and go find out who got extra vessels. You still got to put the work in. Read on.
Even so faith, if it have not works, is dead.
Read on.
Being alone.
By itself. Read on.
Yea, a man may say, thou hast faith.
A lot of people say they got faith. A lot of people talk about they believe in the Most High in Christ. A lot of people say they're disciples. They're students of the Most High. They're followers of the Bible. Christians, so to speak. But they don't do what? They don't show through their actions. That's what makes them a hypocrite. The actions don't back it up. That's what determines the hypocrisy. Read on.
Yea, a man may say, thou hast faith, and I have works.
It says, but Paul said what? I got works though. You can talk all the faith talk you want, but you're not. There's nothing behind the fact that you believe. What works are you doing to show, to demonstrate that you believe? Faith is work related. It's not just in speech. Read.
Show me thy faith.
That's why Paul said, show me thy faith. Since you say you got faith, show it to me then. Prove it to me that you got faith. Because you know one thing Paul understands about faith? It requires evidence. And the evidence is the what? Is the work you put behind it. Read on.
Show me thy faith without thy works.
He said, show me thy faith without thy works. He said that's impossible. Then he's exposing just talk. Read on.
And I will show thee my faith by my works.
And Paul said, I'm going to show you my faith by what?
My works.
So what denotes faith? What demonstrates faith? The works. So in order for this woman to get this blessing that Elisha had in store, she had to go to work. You better go knock on doors. You better get these vessels in. You're not getting this blessing for nothing. That's a lot of knocking. He said, and not a few. He said, don't get a few. Now we know a couple is two. A few is what? Three or more. Three or more. He said, not a few. Read on.
Verse 19. Thou believest that there is one power.
No, let that go. Go back to where we was at. You got something?
Yeah, quick. Job 8:13-15. On Sean Swan's point about the hypocrite.
Job chapter 8, verse 13.
Uh-huh.
So are the paths of all that forget the Most High.
This is the path, or the trajectory of those that forget the Most High. Read.
And the hypocrites' hope shall perish.
So forgetting the Most High is, i.e., I'm distracted when the Most High's words coming out. There's the words is I'm supposed to be putting this or implanting the word in my spirit, but I'm not mentally present at the same time. I'm forgetting the Father. Right? It says the hypocrite's hope shall do what?
Shall perish.
Shall perish. Hypocrite is a person that is not what I'm asking for. I'm not putting forth the actual physical behaviors that really equal what I'm trying to ask for. Right? So if I'm not putting forth the actual work or effort that faith requires, then my actual hope or trust, what I believe in, is going to what? Perish. Or my idea is not going to come to pass. My hope or what I'm asking for will not come to pass. Read on.
Whose hope shall be cut off.
So my hope, because it's not backed by works, is going to be cut off. Read on.
And whose trust shall be a spider's web.
My trust or my faith is going to be like a spider's web. A spider's web is very weak. Anything can break it. It's brittle. The wind blows it around. You can see it, but it's really not there. It's not strong enough to hold substance. It's a light thing. So my faith, because I don't back it with actions, is very light. Read.
He shall lean upon his house.
And I want to lean upon my house, but I didn't build my house by faith. I didn't build my house by the actions that the Most High will exchange a true blessing. Because it was based off of my behaviors. Proper behaviors. Read.
But it shall not stand.
I'm going to lean on my house, but my walls are weak. I'm going to lean on my faith. My faith is weak. Read on.
He shall hold it fast, but it shall not endure.
And I'm going to try, but I'm not going to have the ability to endure. Because I didn't condition myself to believe in the Most High. Because I didn't put the physical elements and the physical works necessary. That's what you're talking about. You're talking about the actual hypocrite, right?
Yep.
I was just showing right here because it was going to
and no, that's beautiful. And let's expound, let's hold this and let's expound on that, what you just brought up. Yes, sir.
So was that knocking like symbolic of the axe seat and knocking?
Yeah. Well, that was just part of her fulfilling what she was, being obedient to the instructions that she was given. Remember when Naaman, when Naaman came to Elisha and asked for the leprosy to be removed, he told him, go wash 7 times in the Jordan.
Right.
He said, man, I got 3 rivers back at home that's more pure than the Jordan. And then his servant had to come and say, man, if he told you to do this, would you have not done it? He said, yeah, you're right. So then if this is what it takes to get blessed or get healed from the leprosy, then go back and do what he told you. Then he said when he finally submitted to the instructions, he said his skin became that of a newborn flesh, like a baby skin. And it was restored, like fresh skin, because he followed the instructions through submission. So that knocking and seeking was just part of the works necessary to show that I'm obedient to the instructions to get this blessing that I'm asking
It
for.
was the process of submission.
It is. Now, just to expound on that point, I like what you brought out, Dawiyat. Let's read this. Let's read this about just looking at the nature and the characteristics behind that woman's husband, because that woman was touting the lifestyle and the fear of the Lord and the reputation that the sons of the prophet, her husband, had displayed. He said, you know, as my husband was a man that feared the Lord. He's worthy of you taking care of us as his family, his remaining family, his descendants. Now, let's read this real quick. Dalia brought out a great point. Let's read here. How this man, although he was a son of the prophet, he still died poor. He still left his family in need. Read that right here. That he died poor.
That he died poor and in debt. More.
He said he died poor and in debt. Read on.
More than he was worth.
He says he left. He died poor. He said more than what he was what?
Worth.
So he didn't have enough money to equate his value.
Negative.
He left his family in a hole. Monetarily. Read on.
He did not contract his debts by prodigality.
Now,
Prodigality.
let's see. It says prodigality. Get the definition of prodigality.
Is this the same guy that was he was housing all the prophets and making sure they was fed still during the time when it wasn't Hezekiah, it was Hezekiah's father, when they weren't but when they closed doors to the temple.
Yep, and he was feeding the prophets with his own money.
Yeah.
Out of his own resources. This is the same one that took care of the sons of the prophet, like a steward, a manager. He said he didn't do what?
He did not contract his debts by prodigality.
So now he said he didn't go into debt by prodigality. That definition is what?
Prodigality in the 1828. Extravagance in the expenditure of what one possesses.
Now we know he died broke, and he didn't have much to offer his family, but it wasn't that he abused his money.
He's reckless.
It wasn't that he abused his resources. Because some prophets of the Most High, they abuse resources. Through what? That definition again?
Extravagance in the expenditure of what one possesses.
He says they have, when something is extravagant, that means I have to have the best of what it is. That means when it comes to items, possessions, I have to have the newest model, the latest model, the freshest, or the classic. I got to have the most valuable of. He says that's prodigality. It's somebody that's excessive or extravagant in the expenditure of what?
Of what one possesses. Particularly of money.
He says particularly of what?
Of money.
They blow what?
Money.
They blow money. He said this man wasn't broke as a prophet because he blows money, because he wears his money or he eats all his money, because that's what we do. That's what we do. Our money must support our image of ourselves. Because I can't be walking around looking broke. I can't be walking around looking poor. That's the disease of Israel. I ain't got it, but I look like I got it though. I'm really looking like I got it with bill money.
Yeah.
I'm really using resources that should go to something else, but I'm blowing it because I'm excessive. I'm extravagant. I like to accentuate my image. I like to accentuate my persona. So when you look at me, you perceive me a certain way. It wasn't that he cared about that. Read.
It says profusion, waste.
He said waste, especially when it comes to money. Because a lot of the so-called prophets of the Most High, talking about his so-called students today, his saints, the children of Israel, they do what with resources?
Waste.
They waste money. They blow a crap load of money. And it's based upon how bad they want to accentuate themselves, based upon their image. It's all image based. It's how I carry myself. It's how I want to be seen. So I put all the resources into things that are not permanent. Read on.
Excessive liberality. It is opposed to frugality.
It's the opposite of somebody being frugal. Somebody that's frugal is what? I'm careful. I'm cautious. I'm a little tight with my resources. You know, you know what? I analyze and I manage what goes out and what I just don't blow it because I think I got it. I look at the needs first. What are the needs? And it's not even just my needs. He said, Matthew Henry said, this man he wasn't using his resource for himself, even though he left his family broke. It was for the prophets. It was for the school of the prophets. He was investing his money into them. That's where his resources went. But us, on the other hand, we do the opposite. We bad with money. We blow the hell out of money until it's time where we need it. And we don't got it. What else?
Economy and parsimony.
It said it's opposite of frugality, economy, and parsimony. What is parsimony? Parsimony, actually. Parsimony is what it is. Parsimony.
It says closeness or sparingness in the use or expenditure of money.
It says closeness or what?
Sparingness in the use of expenditure of money.
So in expenditures, when it comes to me spending money, I'm not known. That's what he said. Matthew Henry said this particular prophet wasn't known for being bad with money. He wasn't known for blowing money, blowing resources. So it wasn't like he spent his money on his lifestyle and now he left his family broke like we do. We accentuate our image at the expense of our family members. Making bad financial decisions. Accruing bad debts. Because we don't understand where the resources should go. Because there's a deficiency in my priority. And because there's a deficiency in my priority, I go blow a lot of resources that could have went elsewhere. Just on image-based things that are not permanent, that are only temporary. Parsimony, right? Read it again.
It says closeness or sparingness in the use or expenditure of money. Sometimes used perhaps in a good sense.
Now, stop right there. Finish this right here. He says he did not contract his debt
by
prodigality.
Prodigality and luxury.
And luxury. He didn't have to have the most luxurious items. Not like we do. You know what we like to do? We like to have the $8 toothpaste. We want the $8 toothpaste. Yeah. We want the $15 deodorant. And we want the $30 shampoo. Okay. And I got to have the $15 soap.
And that bomb soap, too.
I got to have the bomb soap. And I got to have the $28 lotion. Body kit. I got to have the whole body kit.
150 on a body kit.
It's got to be, what's that damn store in the mall?
Lush.
Lush. Yeah.
Lush.
Yeah.
Well, you gotta have the bomb,
the soap bomb,
the $30 bomb that's like in a little container like this, like a 2-ounce container.
And it says in a sticker, Matt made this. It's a picture of Matt.
And it's handmade. Yeah. It's handmade, so I gotta have the $30 Lush. Oh, you gotta have Sephora. You don't wear Maybelline. You want the $100 kit. You want the $100 nail kit. You don't wear Maybelline. That's for jokers, huh? You want the $100 kit. Oh, you gotta have the Jordans. You gotta have the Jays.
Can't have
You
Pippins.
can't have Pippins. Can't have the Robins.
No
the Pippins.
Shaqs, no Shaqs. Shaqs. Oh.
Can't have the Shaqs. Can't do the Patrick Ewings.
Yeah.
You gotta do. You can't do the Pat Ewings.
You can do that.
Come on, man.
That is kind of sweet. They're kind of sweet.
Come on, bro.
$300.
You ain't gonna get them nice on the resale.
I mean,
You ain't gonna sell them for the same price you bought them for.
on the website, you got to sell them.
You can't do the Shaqs.
Nah, ain't no Shaqs.
You can't do the Shaqs. Shaq played basketball. He had more rings.
Hall of Fame.
He had more rings than Pat Ewing. Pat Ewing had no one ring. You can't do the Shaq shot. Shaq is a baller, right?
No, the kamikazes is fire. I ain't gonna
Shaq kamikazes
The kamikazes.
from Shaq.
Yes.
Okay, I have yet to see somebody rock them.
I
I have yet to see one person wear the kamikaze Shaq shot. Show me the kamikaze Shaq. I'll change my tone.
Nobody rocking Shaqs, son.
Ain't nobody rocking those. Man, you know what? My kids got some Shaqs. I'll tell you that right now. You know why? Because they grow right out of them. And they only in them for about 6 to 8 months, and they right out of them. So, and they don't know the difference for now. For now.
Middle school.
They gonna get. I ain't gonna set them up for failure because they gonna get clowned on. But I gotta get them strong enough to endure the mockery.
Brother.
Because the mockery's coming.
Brother.
What are those?
Brother.
It's coming.
Hey, you know, I had a picture still circling on the internet, and it was when I was a sophomore, and I swore it was from Jay's eye. And this one cat caught me slipping in Spanish class, and the whole school blew up by it. So I had some fake J's on. I didn't even know it was I was told it was real.
Jordan was dunking the other way.
No,
He was dunking. They're like, wait a minute, man. Jordan dunked this way.
Jordan had a butt cheek
Jordan was
out.
like this.
Jordan had a butt cheek out. That was the problem, man.
That's funny.
He had a line.
He had a booty on him.
I never looked that close. I never looked that close, huh?
That's real.
But it was the worst.
Jordan
I still let that.
He had junk in the trunk, huh?
Every year I get that picture to me like, hey, remember you had these fake J's?
They ain't gonna let you live that down,
That's
man.
been like 10 years.
They're not gonna let you live that down, bro.
It's crazy.
You is
bro.
not. You got Polo, and then you got U.S. Polo Association.
Yeah.
It's association.
Kind of, man. It's the worst, bro.
What you got?
Kamikaze real fire.
I have yet to see.
I've never seen my work.
Kamikaze
Sure you did.
Shaq shot.
Yeah. There you go.
Nah,
What's the movie Shaq was in?
Kazam.
Kazam? Did he wear him in the movie Kazam? So they hey, at least if there was movie made, you know, I could understand it, like some Space Jams or something, or some Chinese New Year Shaq shot.
Yeah. The Dragon.
The Dragon Edition Shaq shot. I don't see it, bro. But the whole point is,
It's
a lot of us, when it comes to expenses, we're not frugal enough with expenses, and we lead ourselves into poverty because of our lack of frugality. A lack of knowing what it means and the value of how to utilize resources. We're wasteful in resources, and we end up poor. We're wasteful in resources, end up broke. That's why Matthew Henry is clearing up this man's reputation. He wasn't a prophet like that. Even though he left his family broke, he wasn't a man known for being superfluous or excessive or extravagant in his apparel or his outfits or his wastefulness of resources. You blow whole checks, you blow whole income tax, you blow whole bonuses.
Yeah.
You blow whole anything that could have been of a valuable resource and acquisition, notable acquisition, is gone when it touches your hands. Why? How many hundreds of thousands of dollars have passed through your hands and there's nothing to show for it, but you felt better? Because you felt like you accentuated your image. Me personally, I tell you right now, $8 Walmart pants. I got on $8 pants right now for Walmart as we speak.
Hey, Ross had a deal like $12 pants.
If they ain't on sale, if I can't, my goal is to get it at lowest possible cost. And tomorrow I'll probably wear my Goodwill pants that I bought from Goodwill for $2.50. How about that? How about it was the Orange Tag Day at Goodwill, and Orange Tag Day is 50% off the price. They were $5.99, so I bought them for $2.99.
There it is.
with tax. I paid $316 for a pair of pants, and what? I won. You know why I feel like I won? Because I can give a damn about the pants. You know what? That wasn't always me. That wasn't always me. And they're Dockers. You know, they're notable for their durability. But you know, they're $3. Who gives a damn? I don't give a damn. If you tripping on what I got on, then there's something wrong with you. Because you know what? My resources ain't going to no Caucasian brand clothes anyway. You know why? All your luxury items are controlled by Louis Vuitton, Moet and Hennessy, LMVH, which is Mr. Arnault, Bernard Arnault, whatever his name is, Mr. Arnault, which owns the CEO of Louis Vuitton, Moet and Hennessy, which owns the majority of all luxury brands in the world, is the second richest man next to Elon Musk, which just came up as number one. Second in the world as the richest man is the man who owns all your little Coach, all your little Celine, all your little Louis Vuitton, all your little name brands that you think didn't have anything to do. That's a conglomerate. They have over 250 brands under their house, under their umbrella. And you pay them all every time you spend $400 on a purse. Every time you spend $300 on some shoes. You're contributing to this French man's wealth and monopoly over the so-called luxury brands. He owns all of them. He's only second in as riches to Elon Musk. So it ain't like he ain't making money. But you ain't making the money. You didn't make the pants. That pants ain't got your name on it. I got another man's name on it. I got another woman's name on it, Celine. Birkin bag. $20,000 purse. For what? It's people that I remember that came to San Antonio from Katrina, from the flood in New Orleans, 2005. When the levees broke, they evacuated them, brought a lot of them to San Antonio. Over 25,000 people from New Orleans evacuated and came to San Antonio. Saw safety and relocation. We were in the mall at the time. And when they got their government little cards, when the money got put on their card, they was getting 10,000. The FEMA checks. The $10,000 FEMA checks, I watched some people go to Saks Fifth Avenue and buy a $5,000 purse and you got $10,000 FEMA check. You went and bought a $5,000 purse, but you don't have a home. You don't have a vehicle. Everything you own was washed ashore at Lake, what's the name of that lake? Pontchartrain. The lake swallowed up everything you own, but you got a $5,000 purse. But you only got a $10,000 FEMA card. Then I watched some people put all their FEMA money together and open up a restaurant. Not everybody was wasteful. Not everybody was full of parsimony. Some people were frugal with their resources. This man wasn't wasteful like a lot of us are. We don't have to have the best of the best when it comes to certain items. He said, "Be content with food and raiment." Did I eat, or did I have to get the steak with the filet mignon? That had to have it butterfly with the Cajun seasoning on it.
The salt bay.
$48 steak, $13 baked potato. Or can I get a whole bag of baked potatoes or sweet potatoes and bake my own damn potatoes at home for $5 for a whole bag? But it's something about their butter that they use. They use like
It's the cinnamon butter.
It's like a cinnamon
It's the
butter.
cinnamon butter.
It's like a cinnamon butter. It's a special ratio of cinnamon and butter that they put on the baked potato that I just can't get anywhere else. Bull crap. Bull crap. You know what a lot of times is? I don't want to do the extra work that it takes to create that baked potato.
Okay.
Because it's work. You can't cut up no chives and onions. You can't add your own sour cream to it. You can't add your own hamburger ground meat on it. You can't make your own broccoli with cheese on it. You can't do it yourself and make it bigger and better. If if you're not wasteful, you could care less because you blow resources. It don't matter. I get it back. That's what you think. You think you'll get it back. The Most High watching the whole time. You think you're gonna get it back. Read on.
It says, luxury and riotous living.
Read.
For he was one that feared the Lord.
It said, and what does that mean when you fear the Lord? What does that mean when it equates to you in money? What does your fear of the Lord got to do with your money? Well, let's find out. You're going to find out that your fear of the Lord has a lot to do with your money. How you expense and what's the word he used? It's that extravagant lifestyle that you choose to have. Or you choose to accentuate yourself based upon how you see yourself. What you think you deserve. I work hard, I deserve the best. Okay. I work hard, I need this. I deserve this because I work hard. So you want to go extremely in debt. You want to feel better because you want to have the latest edition vehicle. You want the best transportation money can buy with the best emblem and the best badge and the best Italian leather seats. But you're still using it for transportation. But yet you want to have a $700 car payment without the full coverage insurance to go with it. So you rocking $1,000. You want to rock $1,000 on a payment. No thank you. I'm not living in the car. I don't plan on living in the car. But you will be living in the car when you got that $1,000 payment. They say in America right now, more people are living inside their cars than ever in history. Ever in history. People living in their cars. Because people live beyond their means, man. Millions of people live beyond their means. Because they don't know what it means to utilize their resources. Read on.
It says, and therefore does not allow himself in such courses. Nay,
it says he don't allow himself. And so this man that had a wife and 2 sons that passed away, he didn't allow. It wasn't that he left his family broke because he blew his resources. That wasn't the case. He says, nay, but what?
It says, and does not allow himself in such courses. Nay, religion obliges men.
It says, if you really believe in the Most High, he says, then you're obligated to do what? Read.
Not to live above what they have.
Read that again.
Religion obliges men.
He says, listen to what he's saying. He said, if you believe in the Most High, your religion should teach you constraint. Your religion should teach you discipline. Your religion should teach you discretion. Your religion should teach you how to not squander your resources. It should teach you contentness, satisfied with what you possess. Because you don't have to have the $1,000 this, or the hair done every week, or the nails done every week. $50 to some Asians every week for a pedicure, that's $200 a month. $100 a week for your hair, that's $400 a month. That's $600 a month on hair and nails. On makeup, because it got to be a certain brand, you can accentuate yourself all you want. But your religion should teach you how to be frugal, how to be content with what you possess. Read on.
Not to live above what they have.
It says, your religion should teach you not to live above what you possess, what you have coming in. I don't live beyond my means, meaning I know I got a certain budget that I have to live by, and I stick within that budget. I remain economically within that budget. I make sure that through priority of what's important, and we know Abel took care of the Most High's business first. We know Christ says, seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things should be added unto thee. We know what it means for those that have been examples of what it means to put the Most High first and their reward from it. But a lot of us don't know what it means to not live above our means. A lot of us have no budget. We just spend until we run out of money. That's the budget. That's the plan that's the budget. Spend until there's no money left. That's the plan of action. Read on.
Nor to spend more than what the Most High gives them.
Or I spend more than what do you call that when you spend more than what the Most High gives you?
Debt.
Debt. It's self-created debt. A lot of us live in debt because you don't know how to observe. The scriptures say, it said, let all things be delivered in numbers and weights. That means I'm supposed to measure everything that come in and measure everything that go out. Whatever's coming and going, I'm supposed to have a budget or at least an expense sheet and some type of expenditure sheet to where I'm monitoring and manage money. You know, divorces happen because people are bad with money.
Yeah.
Children lose out because people are bad with money. Houses are lost because of bad with money. Cars get lost because of bad with money. A lot of things get lost because I'm bad with money. I squander my resources. I spend more than what the Most High gives me. That means you're supposed to have a tally of some sort, a record of some sort, record keeping. Where's your record keeping skills at? Where's your receipts? Where's your receipts to show where your money went? Did you value what the Most High gave you? Read on.
It says, for thereby of necessity.
It says, for thereby of what?
Of necessity.
And what happens when they don't keep account? You don't keep a good record of what you possess and what the Most High gives you. What happens?
They must disable themselves.
It says you're going to do what?
Disable themselves.
What does that mean? Through necessity, they got to do what?
Remove themselves.
Yeah, man, what does that mean? You got to disable yourself. What does that mean?
You gotta lose things.
You got to lose things. You got to lose things. Then come in the payday loans. Then comes in the pawn shops. Then comes in the title loans. Then comes in the loan sharks. Then comes in the debt slaves. Then comes in the high interest rates. Now you got to apply for something that's high that you know you got to pay double to pay back. Now you're about to put yourself in a worse condition than you started with because you didn't know how to control your finances. You didn't know the value of it, of what the Most High gives you. That wasn't the case with this prophet. Then starts the breakdown. Then comes the panic mind frame. Then comes the what the hell am I going to do now mentality. What we going to do now? Oh, you better liquidate. You better liquidate. Then comes the breakdown. Read on.
At last, to give everyone his own.
Go ahead.
And so prove
Now
guilty.
you got to pay back everybody that you borrowed from. And that is a sign. The breakdown and the liquidation is a sign of what?
Guilt.
It's a sign of what?
Prove guilty.
In what way? Read on.
Of a continued act of injustice all along.
It says you just proved that your actions weren't done in righteousness. Because look at the end result of your finances. The end result of your finances and the breakdown, the economic breakdown, is evidence that you weren't living right the whole time. There was too much parsimony in your life. Then comes the breakdown. Read on.
Yet it may be the lot of those that fear the
Now
Most High.
stop. Proverbs chapter 12 verse 27 says what? Proverbs chapter 12 verse 27.
Proverbs 12 and verse 27. The slothful man roasteth not which he took in hunting.
He said, you know what? Because I'm slothful. Because I don't want to make the garment. You don't want to get the needle and thread and make the garment yourself. You just think it's easier to buy it. Because I do what's easy and convenient. When you eat for convenience, you spend $10 at breakfast. You spend $10 for lunch. And you spend $10 for dinner when you eat for convenience. Or you can put the work in and do meal preps and make your lunch the day before. And save yourself $10. You can make you can prep your shake at the night before. I remember when me and Dawiyah lived together. And I lived with Dawiyah, matter of fact, at a time. And we put our money together. We put our resources together.
Yeah.
And you know what we did? We put our resources together. We made a deal, an agreement to put in $250 per person per month. That's $500 between us. per month. Within that $500 per month, we did meal preparations. We had a schedule. I give you the schedule. Sunday was soup day. So, you remember this?
Yeah,
This is like
yeah.
10 years ago.
Good time.
This is 10 years ago. I still remember it. Sunday was soup day. We ate soup on Sunday. Monday, we ate an actual meal with meat. A stew or a crock pot meal. That lasted 2 days. That was the purpose of the crock pot meal, to eat off Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday, Wednesday we made another meal that was meat that lasted for Wednesday and Thursday. Friday, we did fruits
Yeah,
and vegetables.
we did it.
It was Fruit Friday.
Yeah.
We did only fruit and vegetables on Friday.
Come.
Saturday was liquid only and smoothies.
We were healthy. Healthy.
We was healthy as hell. You know what? I'm gonna tell you this. You don't really know a royal flush until you eating healthy.
Yeah.
You tell your body is purged out. When you eating fast food 3 times a day, burning $30 3 times a day.
Yeah.
We ate off $500 a month and ate well. I'm talking about and the soup is, I mean the Saturday, which was liquid only. Saturday was liquid only to give our bodies time to digest the meat throughout the week. So we did liquid Saturdays, smoothie Saturdays. So only liquids and smoothies on Saturdays. And we meal prepped the smoothies the night before. All the smoothies were prepped the night before. And we did a smoothie every morning.
Mm-hmm.
We had a dry mix and we had a wet mix that we had in preparation. We had flaxseed and the dry mix, and the dry mix was chia seeds, maca root, and moringa powder.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we had the wet mix, and we had the green 180 vegetable perfect food. We had the perfect food plant powder for the dry mix with the chia seeds already ready in the refrigerator. In the wet mix in the morning, we had the frozen fruit in the frozen fruit in bags already. In the morning, we threw that in the smoothie. Took the dry mix from the night before, which was the maca root, the moringa powder, the chia seeds, and the flaxseed. We threw that in the smoothie. And then in the wet mix, we had chlorophyll, we had olive oil, or 1 or 2 oils, coconut oil, olive oil, and we had flaxseed oil in there too for the omega 369. We had that in the mix for the added that to the final mix, and then we hit it with some we had
turmeric powder, of course.
and we had turmeric powder in there too, and we added some not from concentrate 100% juice in there too. You know, not mixed with all kind of sweeteners and additives.
Real juice.
Real juice. Added to top it off, and hit that in the blender. And we drank that in the morning. You weren't even hungry. It was so thick. The smoothie was so damn thick.
Yeah.
That you're not
It's
even
delicious though.
It was good, but you so full. You're not even hungry till 3 p.m.
You skipped breakfast. You had to.
And you eat breakfast, you full. But remember how healthy we were at the time.
That's true.
Because we sat down at the table and we mapped out the schedule. We mapped out the routine. We mapped out how much money we got coming in. We mapped out what it is that we're going to eat the day before, the night before, the weekend before. We was in advance. We already planned in advance about what the week was going to look like. And it worked out for the both of us. Financially and physically and healthy. And the spirit was good. But you blow your resources without planning. There's no preparation. Read that again in Proverbs.
God says the slothful man roasteth not that which he took in hunting.
It says, you got food in the refrigerator, but you'd rather get the fast food. That costs, what's that damn, the chicken strip spot, Raising Cane's?
Yeah.
$14 for the box. What is it called? The box?
It's 4.
The
4
who?
or 6.
No, the Caniac is the six strips. Talking about the regular 4-piece strip with the box.
You
With the
want
drink, with the
large
little
drink,
coleslaw.
you don't pay
With
for
the
it.
coleslaw, little coleslaw with the French fries, with the damn 4 strips, with the piece of bread. It's $14. And then you did Chick-fil-A in the morning. And you did Whataburger in the evening. Okay. Or you did In-N-Out Burger in the evening. Okay. Yeah, you know. So you're going $30 a day on some unhealthy fast food simply because I don't want to do what? Read that again.
The slothful man roasteth not that which he took in hunting,
Go ahead.
but the substance of a diligent man
It said, but the resources of a diligent man, read on,
is precious.
is what?
Precious.
So what the Most High gives you coming in every month, you should look at it as what?
Precious.
It should be precious to you. Your economics, your finances should be precious. That means it should have value because the Most High gave it to me. That means I'll be careful on how I spend it. I'll monitor what I put my money on. It's precious. It's valuable to me because the Most High gave it to me. And I know what to do with it. Right? Let that go. Go to Proverbs. One more verse on this. Go to Proverbs chapter 18, verse 9.
Proverbs chapter 18, verse 9. He also that is slothful in his work.
It said, he that is what?
Slothful in his work
And for the Most High got something set up for those that's slothful. What happens? Read.
is brother to him that is a great waster.
And you're known as a what?
Waster.
I'm a waster. Meaning I'll waste my resources because of my what? Through what? Slothfulness. I want the best of what I want. I want what I want, but I don't have the diligence or the discipline to set it aside to make the best of what the Most High gives me. So therefore, I squander what should be precious. I squander what should be valuable. So then I make myself a great waster. Now I'm wasting the resources. And this son of the prophet that left behind that wife and 2 kids, he was not like that. He wasn't that way. Finish that?
Yeah.
It says, yeah.
Yet it may be the lot of those that fear the Most High to be in debt and
It says
insolvent.
sometimes the lot falls on a man, say like this in the scriptures, who was a man that feared the Most High. He was a man of God, but he still couldn't help his situation. When he passed away, his wife and his kids were still in need. They had to go to Elisha. But his reputation stood in its place where he couldn't. Where he no longer was present, his reputation remained. He was still worthy of that blessing. He says sometimes you can't help yourself, but you fear the Most High, and you're not really a waster. You're not insolvent. Get that definition of insolvent. Get that definition of insolvent.
Insolvent. Not having money.
What?
Not having money.
What'd you do with your money?
Not having money.
That's another fancy word for saying broke. Man, I'm a little insolvent this month.
Yeah.
You're insolvent this month. Is it due to the fact that you've been slothful? Or you've been wasting resources? What does it due to? It says insolvent, not having money for what?
Goods or estate sufficient to pay all debts.
So you're broke to where you can't pay no what?
Debts.
Sometimes that insolvent nature comes through slothfulness, through irresponsibility, lack of accountability, lack of record keeping, bad management, bad financial planning, lack of discipline. You don't have enough money to pay your damn bills, but you look good though. You eat good, but you broke as hell. You're insolvent. That wasn't the case, but sometimes it's not the fact that people aren't disciplined, that fear the Most High. Sometimes he's saying that it just falls on them that regardless of the fact that they fear the Lord, it just so happened to be that they're left in a state of need. And that's okay. Read on.
It says losses through afflictive providences.
It says through afflictive providences, things that you can't control, such as, read on,
Losses by sea.
things that, car crashes,
Yeah.
losses at sea. You can't control how other people drive on the road. You can't control what they do. Sometimes there's situations that happen where you don't have no control over. What else?
Or bad debts.
Or it is things that you can control. You accumulated bad what?
Debts.
Bad debts, ran up cards. Didn't get counsel when it comes to management, when it comes to purchases. Didn't follow no counsel and advice when it came to spending. You didn't make no phone calls. You didn't ask, what should I do in this situation? You just blew and spent. Read.
For the children of light are not always wise for this world.
It says, for the children of light aren't always wise for what?
For this world.
Sometimes, even though you believe in the Most High, certain situations may befall you. But just don't let the situation befall you due to the fact that you're bad with expenses and that you're irresponsible. Sometimes you can control it, sometimes you cannot. But just don't be the brother of the great waster, which is somebody that's slothful.
And then blame the Most High.
And then because that's what all the blame comes back on the Most High. It all the situations the Most High suffers and his work suffer. Then the priority is, I got to get back on my feet.
Yeah.
So then what suffers? The work that I do for the Most High suffers. Because now my focus is what? I got to survive. I got to survive.
I make some shape.
I got to make something happen. I can't be like this.
I'm in pain right now.
I mean, I'm in a low point right now. Well, did you cross all your T's and dot all your I's? Did you check all your boxes to make sure that you can afford that lifestyle you so choose to live? Because it's the breakdown is the evidence that you didn't check all your T's and you didn't dot all your I's. The breakdown is the evidence. Like I said, sometimes you can control it, sometimes you can't.
It's talking about faith.
Yeah.
The class is about faith.
It's about faith and management. And so now I struggle in knowing how to put the Most High first. Now let's go back and finish where we was at last week, Malachi chapter 1, and read verse 10. I'll go ahead and wrap the class up.
Malachi chapter 1 and verse 10. Who is there, even among you, that will shut the doors for naught?
Read on. We read this last week. Read on.
Neither do ye kindle fire on mine altar for naught.
And what happens is when we're in this rat race of trying to survive because we've been bad with expenses, the Most High becomes second. And the work of the Most High becomes second. Then I give the Most High little because I'm not getting. This is the mind frame of Cain. Cain, because he cared so much about getting, he put the Most High on the back burner. So therefore the Most High never regarded his offering. Because he was too worried about gaining, coming up and surviving.
That's something for me. I don't know about all this.
Lost and giving up the best. Read on.
I have no pleasure in you.
And so the Most High said, because you don't know how to serve me with the best eye, with a good eye, he said, I have no what?
Pleasure in you.
He said, I take no pleasure. He says, you look at my work, you despise my work, you put yourself first, no problem. Then I'm going to put you second or third or whatever. He said, I'll take no pleasure in you. Read on.
Saith the Lord of hosts.
Who said that?
The Lord of hosts.
He said, the Most High said that. I'll have no pleasure of you, said the Lord of hosts. Read.
Neither will I accept an offering at your hands.
He said, so neither will I accept the offering at your hands, because your offering is polluted. It's you're giving me an offering, but you can't fake me out. You still got your lifestyle in mind.
My motive.
You still got your intentions in mind. You can't fake me out. He said, so I reject that offering. So what's the answer to that? Let's go to Malachi chapter. Stay in Malachi chapter 3, verse 6. Read that. 3 verse 7.
Malachi chapter 3 and verse 6.
7.
Verse 7. Even from the days of your fathers, ye are gone away from mine ordinances.
He said, so he says the issue with us and why we go away from the Most High's ordinances, because it's a lack of faith. It's a lack of trust. And it's a lack of priority. All the faithful men knew how to put the Most High first. Read on.
God, even from the days of your fathers, ye have gone away from mine ordinances, and have not kept them.
Go ahead.
Return unto me.
He said, do what?
Return unto me.
He said, come back to me, man. If you've been out of pocket with the Most High, and you haven't been as faithful as you could be or should be, he said, return unto me.
God,
Read on.
return unto me, and I will return unto you.
He said, man, you come to me, I'll come to you. Make the steps. Put the work in. Read on.
God, saith the Lord of hosts, but ye said, wherein shall we return?
How are we going to get back to the Most High? How am I going to get my focus back on the Most High? How am I going to make the Most High a priority? How do I do that? What does that mean? What does that entail? Read on.
Verse 8, will a man rob the Most High?
The Most High got a question for you.
Will a man rob the Most High?
Will a man rob the Most High? The Most High, the answer is rhetorical. The question is rhetorical. He said, come back to me. We say, how are we going to come back to him? He asked us with a question with a question. Will a man rob the Most High? Read on.
Yet ye have robbed me. But ye say, wherein have we robbed thee?
He said, well, I don't understand what I did wrong. How am I robbing the Most High? How have I robbed the Most High? What did I do? Read on.
In tithes and offerings.
It still comes back to Cain and Abel.
Yeah.
It still comes back to Cain and Abel.
There's two lines. Right?
Those distinctive qualities. The characteristics of Abel versus the characteristics of Cain. Everything comes back to them, that same story. How do you look at the Most High? And how do you choose to dedicate yourself to the Most High? Do you give him the first, the best of what you have to offer? Or you give the Most High the crumbs and still have you in the mind on the back end? Is your work done with a string attack? It all comes back to Cain and Abel. He said, this is how you rob me. To answer your question, how do you return back to the Lord? Then you have to re-correct and learn how to redistribute your tithes and what?
And offerings.
Go ahead.
You are cursed with a curse.
He says, therefore, you're what?
You are cursed with a curse.
He said, because of this is why you're in the condition that you're in. You're not giving me your best. Read on.
Ye are cursed with a curse, for ye have robbed me, even this whole nation.
Read on. Everybody's guilty of it. Read on.
Bring ye all the tithes into the storehouse, that there may be meat in mine house.
So he's saying, bring your offerings back to me. He said, all the tithes. That means make me the priority, just like Abel did. Make me the priority, just like Christ said in Matthew 6:33. He said, make me the priority, like we read that Philo said that from the first time you get up in the morning, the Most High should be your prompter and your leader. He said, that's what he said. Get the definition of prompter. When Philo said the Most High first thing in the morning, you should dedicate all your courses of life and your personal business to the Father first, then you do your own thing. He said the Most High should be your prompter and your leader. What does that mean to be your prompter?
Prompter in the 1828. One that prompts, one that admonishes or incites to action.
Go ahead.
One that is placed behind the scenes.
He said one that is what?
Placed behind the scenes.
He says you should operate as the Most High being the one that's placed behind the scene, behind the curtain. Read on.
In a playhouse.
In a what?
In a playhouse.
So in a playhouse or the theater, or when people are on stage, and somebody forget their lines, and somebody forget their role, and somebody forgets their script. I forgot the damn script. Somebody's behind the curtain doing what? Read.
It says, whose business is to assist the speakers when at a loss.
He said, when I forget what to say and I'm on stage, and I forget my script and I forget my role, and I'm on stage, he says, the prompter is the one that's behind the curtain whispering to the actor on stage what?
By uttering the first words of a sentence or words forgotten.
He says he's the one that gives you the first words of a sentence or words what?
Forgotten.
So when you don't know how to pray, He says, if the Most High is your prompter, he's the one that's behind the curtain saying, read Matthew chapter 6, verse 9. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. He's the one reminding you of what to say when you don't know what to do. He said that's how you should operate in accepting the Most High to be your prompter. You should listen to the Father giving you the reminders of what it takes to get back on script. Damn, I forgot my part. Now somebody's there to remind you in the background. This is where the scriptures say that you'll hear a voice behind you say, turn ye not to the left or turn ye not to the right, but walk ye this way. Walk ye in it.
This is the way, walking in.
That's the voice that you hear from behind you. That's what wisdom does. Wisdom whispers to you when you go off course. When he say, this is the way, walk ye in it, turn ye not to the left or turn to the right. That's that prompter. We understand that? So, finish that when you what you got.
Come. Malachi chapter 3 and verse 10. Bring ye all the tithes into the storehouse, that there may be meat in mine house. And prove me now herewith.
He said, put me to the test. Read on.
Saith the Lord of hosts, if I will now open you the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing, that there may not be room enough to receive it.
It says, but that's also faith-based. Now finish that in where we was at in 2 Kings. I want you to get 2 Kings chapter 4. All that's faith-based. 2 Kings chapter 4. Pick it up in verse 5 and 6.
2 Kings chapter 4, verse 5. So she went from him and shut the door upon her and upon her sons, who brought the vessels to her, and poured out. And it came to pass, when the vessels were full, that she said unto her son, bring me yet a vessel.
They said, go get me some more vessels. Read on.
And he said unto her, there is not vessel more.
He says, the sons told the mother, there is no more vessels. What does that mean? Huh? What does that mean? You know what that means? That means she slowed down her own blessing. She ruined a golden opportunity. Because however many vessels she went and told her sons to go get from the neighbors is how many the Most High filled. Now imagine if she had a whole lot of faith and went through the whole city getting vessels. Then she would have had what? She would have had more oil. The oil and the filling of the jars represented her level of faith. The reason why she ran out of jars is because she ran out of what? Faith. If she would have had more faith, she would have had more jars of oil. If she really believed that what this man told her, they said, go borrow from the neighbors. If she really believed that and put 1,000% effort in vessels, making sure she collect every single vessel she could find, guess what would have been happening in that miracle that was performed? She would have been taken care of in abundance. In abundance. She would have an overabundance of oil. She put a cap on the miracle. Just like we be putting caps on the miracle. When the Most High got it set out for you to receive a blessing, don't let your lack of faith intercede and ruin that opportunity. Yeah, the cup does run it over. It would have kept, if she had more vessels, the oil would have kept pouring. This is why the Most High said, I would have given you more. When verse 8, read that right there. Hold that. Go back to where you said in Malachi chapter 3.
Malachi chapter 3 and verse 8. It says, will a man rob the Most High? Yet
No,
he hath robbed
get
me.
me straight to the point. Go to verse 10.
Malachi chapter 3 and verse 10. Bring ye all the tithes into the storehouse,
Go ahead.
that there may be meat in mine house.
Put me first. That's what the Most High said. Put me first. Read on.
And prove me now herewith, saith the Lord of hosts, if I will not open you the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing, that there shall not be room enough to receive it.
Didn't we just read this in Malachi and Kings? This woman didn't have enough vessels to receive the blessing because she ran out of faith in getting them jars. She could have got more jars. See, the Most High, when you put the Most High to the test, He always exceeds your expectations in blessings. He always exceeds your expectations in return. Always, when you learn how to put the Most High first. You can never beat the Most High giving. Nobody can. That oil only stopped when that woman ran out of jars. That means I should have exhausted this opportunity, because that woman would have had plenty. Read on.
Come, verse
Let
11.
that go. Go back to finish that in Kings, chapter 4 and verse 6.
God, 2 Kings chapter 4, verse 6. And it came to pass, when the vessels were full, that she said unto her son, Bring me yet a vessel. And he said unto her, There is not a vessel more. And the oil stayed.
And the oil stopped. Why did the oil stop? Why did the blessing? Why did the miracle stop? See, her face had a cap on it. That's why everybody miracles be stopping. That's where everybody shut their own blessings down, man. The Most High is always ready to excel and exceed your expectation. But the reason why the expectation ain't never always met or could have been over met is because somewhere we put a cap on it. Yes, sir.
I like what you're saying, because it's like, why would the Most High stop our sustenance if He knows that we're just going to continue giving to Him? So it's like, as long as we're willing to give to Him, He's always going to take care of us. But really, He'd be winning more and more in the end. So why would He stop? You know?
Yeah. Well, it doesn't hurt Him to over bless us in abundance. It just solidifies the believers. But the reason why things have a cap to it, and I've set limits on what I can do with the Most High, is not His fault. That's the point. It's not the Most High's fault. More miracles, like Christ said, could have been done in His own hometown. That's why He said the prophet is without honor. Where? In his own city. He said more miracles could have been done in His own hometown. He says, but due to their what? Unbelief, more miracles weren't done. That means more people that grew up with Christ could have been healed, but their unbelief stopped what Christ can do. Their unbelief stopped the miracles. Just like your unbelief stops what the Most High can do with you in your life. Somewhere you got to analyze, where did I put a cap on the Most High's blessing? Where did I stop making Him first? Where and when did I stop making Him first? Because you ain't realize you capping your own blessing. You capping your own opportunities. That's the point. That's why the oil stopped. And with that, we're going to say shalom. All right? We'll be back in action on Friday. Any questions? Any questions? All right. Imagine we're pointing walk down, rise and face the east. And shalom, everybody online, for checking us out online. We'll be back in action on Friday. All right? All right, shalom.
Shalom.